Bloody hell. Ugh. This is going perfectly. Okay, chat. I'm gonna show you how my mic setup is looking right now, so that you understand my pain. So it looks like this, okay? Do you see how many switches I have to go through? It really sucks. And this, oh no, it's even cutting some of the settings off. That's not fair. Okay, that's not even half of it. I have some for my portable mics as well. But anyways, hopefully you can all hear me now. I was just speaking to the void, I guess. Alright, so back to it. The plan for today's video, or today's stream, is quite simply to go through some of the recommendations that I've gotten through both Discord and YouTube. Yeah, listen, the machine spirit does not adhere to me. The Omnissiah is not helping me tonight. Obviously, because I'm doing this through odd hours, right? I should not be streaming at 2 a.m. So for those of you who are joining in on Central European times, hi, welcome to the stream. Sorry for waking you up. Hope you enjoy it though. But those of you who are finding this in regular hours, good for you. But no, as I've mentioned, I am going to be going to some of the recommendations that I've gotten, both Discord and through YouTube, on stuff that I don't think that I might have time to like record off time, because it's summer and there's a hell of a lot of things that I have to do. But that being said, I think we should just get started with some of the shorter ones first. And I think the best one to go with here is on Japan. So, this one is from Geopold on how Japan isn't perfect. And we all know this is an affront to anything that is godly, because Japan is obviously the best place in the world. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Japan, and it's an offense to say that about a country. Obviously not. I think that no country is perfect. Obviously, many countries can have some positive things and the negative sides, and all of those should be valid when we're talking about them. Obviously, there's a certain thing with Japan where I think that we have a tendency of setting it at a higher echelon than the rest, that we view it at a more positive light. Perhaps because for most of us from southern countries or western countries, it's way too, let's say, estranged. But nevertheless, I want to say that Japan can be as flawed as the rest of us. But yeah, let's see what we're talking about here. Hello there, welcome to the stream. So this is from Geopold. Japan isn't perfect.
Japan isn't perfect, okay? I said it. And yeah, I know they have all these good things going for them. I'm not denying that. But it's a bit suspicious, honestly, when everything I hear about Japan is positive. Well, today that's all about to change, because my hating ass is going to explain how Japan isn't quite perfect. Alright? We're talking natural disasters easily ruining your day. I mean, look at this guy. Relaxing drive ruined. We're talking gigantic parasitic cults that lead people to do insane shit, like assassinating the president. Oh, and I almost forgot the tourists, the goddamn Westerners, the weebs, the fans that plague Japan's streets and America's basements alike. I mean,
okay. Now, in all fairness, tourism in Japan is absolutely toxic. At least, as of late, it has become, thanks to influencers, streamers, the Logan Paul likes who have poisoned the well for the rest of us. That being said, These are always in the limelight. These are things that we easily all can see, that broadcasted to the rest of the world to, it just sucks. But the thing that he mentioned there about cults is wild. As a person who has been somewhat invested in a religion in the past, I was reading a lot on these type of things, like the Moonies and such. And there's one specific one in Japan that caused a hell of a lot of issues, which of course was not the Moonies, are the ones that were related to the attempt assassination on Shinzo Abe before he got sent to the Shadow Realm. But Amshin Rikyo, I don't know if any of you have ever heard that name before. It was another one that was wild. It was founded by a bully in the countryside who basically believed that he could levitate and shoot ki blast out of his hands. Basically a Dragon Ball villain that founded this cult. And they were very prominent in Japan because unlike some of the other cults like the Moonies, they didn't just do religious conversion and those kind of things in the shadows. They actually did terrorist attacks. We're talking about like chemical bombings in train stations and stuff. So they were wild. And yeah, so some weird stuff is happening also in Japan and in the East generally. Korea also has a massive problem with this. If you have seen any recent Korean dramas or shows, they tend to make use of cults a lot as like a segue to talk about some dark organization. Think of Squid Game, the guy who came to give the card to a protagonist the first time to get him to join the game. He literally tells you, I don't want to be part of your cult, because that's such a massive issue. If you know Parasite, the anime, that's an adaptation of it that was made, a Korean adaptation, at least a follow-up story. And this one also take into account a cult. Like, they do that way too often. Anyways, let's keep going.
Because basements are like. I mean, people literally get online stardom from just being awful tourists in Japan. Yeah, these guys really put the pan in Japan, because I imagine the majority of locals want to just get a pan and knock them unconscious. Actually, in Japan, taking matters into your own hands might not be the worst move, honestly, since the Japanese police are so inept and ineffective. So many crimes go unsolved in Japan, unless they see you jaywalking or littering. It's like the only two crimes they actually care about solving.
Bruh.
Anything else is guaranteed ending up on a top 10 creepy unsolved Japanese police cases.
Yeah, sort of. But isn't that just making it a little bit too simplistic? Do you guys know Joey from the Trash Taste podcast, The Anime Man? He covers a lot of like strange things going on in Japan, especially within the manga and anime industry. And there are always some weird fuckery that the police does with regards to investigations. So I kind of get it that they are not that efficient sometimes. There are a lot of things that end up being unsolved. But I just think it has something to do with jurisdiction, that it's being weird. You know how in Japan, actually, there's a whole thing about you literally being guilty until proven innocent, in the way that they can hold you in a jail cell for a very long time without having any proof of wrongdoings. So that's why an individual like that Johnny Somali dude, awful content creator, was speculated to be held in Japan indefinitely. But of course it was released. Yeah, but yeah, I just think that I understand this, but it's kind of a cheap jab.
YouTube compilation. One thing I think is the root of a lot of Japan's current day problems is the work culture. You know, the Tokyo zombies, the locked in epidemic. Basically, this problem kind of stems from the aftermath of that big war they lost. The country was in absolute ruin after World War II, and the government, alongside all the emerging businesses, out of necessity pummeled out this narrative, which really plays on the traditional emphasis of pride and honor in Japanese culture. That if you aren't dedicating 110 even 10% of your life to working and therefore rebuilding the economy, you're a traitor and a disgrace to your entire bloodline, and you essentially don't exist as a human. Whilst this did play a big role in rebuilding the economy, it also had such a massive impact on Japanese work culture and was able to spiral so far out of control that now your typical daily routine as a Tokyo businessman includes sitting in a cramped booth to endure 12 hours of frantic amphetamine-fueled work, then collapsing on the metro out of sheer exhaustion or alcoholic escapism. Waking...
Okay. Work culture in Japan is another thing. Like, I understand that they created a great thing that made the economy boom, but like they should have regulated it as it increased. Literally, during the pandemic, there was like a rise in adopting the model of people at least saw that perhaps it was a nice thing to let workers take a day off or at least work remotely, because that would have motivated them to do other things and come back to work feeling refreshed. Such thing as the 4-day work week was adopted, and many implemented it to their workplaces, and they saw how successful it was. Funnily enough, that originated from Japan. There were Japanese companies that were employing that to motivate their workforce, and it worked well. It's just weird that that never took off. But again, there's like a whole stigma culturally in Japan that doesn't allow people to take vacations because you kind of need to do what everybody else is doing. I do believe that there's an actual term for it from the very few Japanese lessons that I took, because, you know, everybody has a little bit of weeb in them once they get involved in Japan. Is it called Weigo or something like that? Like the hierarchy of respect, that if you have an employee at your workplace that has, for example, to leave from work, you need to go with them. They don't take vacations. You don't take vacations. Like, nobody wants to be the odd one out. It's strange. They're always on the grind, that's true, but they should be able to take it easy, because that is literally affecting them and killing them.
Waking up the next morning deep in some random suburb, slapping some cold water on your face and doing it all again. And this is totally accepted and even kind of rewarded in Japan. For example, it's common when you see one of these passed out businessmen to leave cold water beside them in some kind of ceremonial circle, so that when they wake up they can freshen up and get back to crunching them damn numbers. I will admit though, this does pull on my heartstrings a little bit. I mean, if you pass out on the street in the UK, you're getting robbed, pissed on, teabagged. Best thing you're gonna wake up surrounded by is a bunch of pigeons pecking at your nose hairs. But yeah, if there's one thing I can't fault Japan for, it's the honest friendliness and hospitality in their culture. I mean,
quick thing, you just mentioned, Jail, the Japanese thin body culture. Is it factual that they actually have a quota of how large your waist should be so that you can receive health care? I do believe that I had that somewhat. I read that somewhere, because random facts like that don't just jump in my head for no reason. Let me see. Japanese waist size. Healthcare. The government has established. Yes, they actually have one. I wasn't capping. So the government has established healthy waistline threshold for adults aged 40 to 74 years old in Metabol law, which came into effect in 2008, and these measured annual checkups. So the threshold for man is 33, 5 inches. Oh my God. So yeah. You were absolutely right bringing that up. You need to have a slim waist in order for you to get certain health benefits, which, by the way, the Japanese health system is top of the line. And that's probably one of the things that is fucking up with them, because they're not having kids, but older people are still around, but they are also dying. So like, you don't reproduce, everything is just on the decline, although you are very good at what you're doing. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Also, just an extra small fun fact. Do you know who the first to be recorded weeb is in actual history? I do believe that it's a guy called Patrick Hearns. Let me search him up again. Patrick Lafcadio Hearns. Patrick Lafcadio Hearns. Here we go. An Irish dude. This guy. He's fascinating. So he literally changed. He was so enamored with Japanese culture that he changed his name to Japanese, married a Japanese woman, and moved to Japan for the culture. This guy, read his story. We're not going to go through the entire thing, but yeah, Greco-Irish writer. It was like, nah. It was during like the late 1800 to early 1900, where there was like an explosion in Japanophilia, quite literally. If you've ever had like your grandparents owning some weird stuff, or not grandparents, they're probably pretty old, but great grandparents having some weird paraphernalia from Japan or China, that's where it started, truly. My grandparents had calendars, clocks from Japan, because my granddad was a missionary, and his dad before him, and he's a theologian, and his dad before him was the same thing. So they got to travel around a bit. But yeah, basically this whole thing of like loving Japan so much kind of started around that time. And this guy, Patrick, kickstarted the trend.
Bro, if someone gifted me a $400 tub of perfect strawberries, or a $500 bunch of the world's best grapes, or a $450 square melon, I would probably just evaporate with gratitude, honestly.
I don't think that you get to, the argument with Yasuke. He quite literally didn't have a choice. He was a forced weep. And also it kind of sucks. I think that one of the prerequisites is that you actually want to be that, to become a weeaboo, for it to count.
I don't know if my physical form could handle such a generous gesture, you know? One thing that defines an especially annoying tourist in Japan is when people from the other side of the world travel there with no knowledge of the Japanese language whatsoever. Literally only 13% of Japan's population speaks English. So if Japan interests you and you think you might maybe visit one day, it would be best to start getting them basics down right now. That's where italki comes in. Using this online language learning platform, you can take personalized one-on-one lessons with native speaking teachers anytime, anywhere. Because it's just you and the teacher, you will really focus on your speaking and listening, more conversational skills, which will increase your confidence through actual interactions. For me, that's about 10,000% more useful than what I get out of conventional lessons. When I took language classes in school, I genuinely didn't gain any useful conversational skills. But 30 minutes on italki with my teacher, and I already had the basic phrases down.
The safest thing is always konnichiwa.
Okay, konnichiwa.
Nice to meet you. Hajimemashite. Konnichiwa. Cherry to moshimasu.
If you want to find a mentor that's a good match for you, just like I did, there's over 30,000 teachers and you can find the perfect one through some easy filtering. And best of all, with italki you can pay for each lesson individually. There's no subscriptions and lessons are priced from only $5. You get 3 trial lessons which are refundable, so there's no financial risk involved. Start your language learning journey now with the link below in the description, and don't forget, use that promo code GEOPOLD5 all caps. This gives the first 50 users an extra $5 $10 when they make their first purchase of $10 or more. So be quick, sign up now. To me, it seems like a big shame the honesty and pride of Japanese people has been exploited in such a way where people literally just operate as money-making computers, completely devoted to their nation. I mean, I know ultra capitalism is the foundation of current day Japan and produced a utopia and all that, but bro, you don't want a smoke break at least, blood?
Dude, look at how they're marking them. Like what a dead bodies, man. Well, in the scene of the crime, we now see Hajime being stuck here, not being able to go to work because, well, as you can clearly see, he's passed out. He's knocked the fuck out from drinking too much sake, and also perhaps that 20 hours work shift. But who knows? Let's find some water bottles and get him freshen up for the next shift. Oh man, I remember a summer when I really wanted to earn a lot of cash, where I overworked myself because I was working at a restaurant and a grocery store, just because I wanted to earn some, and that was willingly done. You cannot have something like this. It's wild. Also, like, one day, I think there was this guy, because the algorithm can be kind of nice to you, a 50-year-old Japanese man who made a video about how he was worried about his future in Japan because of, like, economical situation, stuff like mortgages, because he was 50 and had, like, very, very young children, since that happens late for some of them to actually get smooshing because of how much the work culture fits in. So it makes perfect sense. Imagine having to work this much and then having to interact with people in the daily. That's not possible. And then having to create interpersonal relationship with another person. Like, I don't endorse the whole thing of people being secluded and literally becoming hikikomori, because those are people who literally do not want to partake in society because they found it to be too hard or too complicated or whatever. But I understand how you can literally not socialize when you are not flexing the muscle that is human interaction, because you need to do that in order to know how to speak to people.
Foundation of current day Japan and produced a utopia and all that, but bro, you don't want a smoke break at least, blood? This robotic hard work sentiment over generations has spiraled so out of hand that now holidays and time off in general are like low-key taboos in Japan. Less than 18% of people take their annual paid leave off, which is insane. If you're Japanese, there's a higher chance you'll die of a stroke or a stress-related physical condition than in...
I also want to point out, as Jail is saying here, that obviously things have gotten better. But I think that this is set in contrast to, well, I guess the rest of the world right now.
Other Western countries. Plus, Japan literally invented its own form of heart failure, known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, I think, which is essentially a month-long heart attack caused by extreme stress that is usually cured by just chilling the fuck out. This is such a big problem that Japan is literally begging its citizens to go on holiday more, because not only are workers dropping dead from stress, also their airlines are failing because no one uses them. But by far the biggest problem this toxic work culture has created is what I like to call the -100 Riz pandemic, also more formally known as population collapse. Essentially, because so many Japanese citizens spend so much of their energetic youth completely locked in and not out there cheating, basically young people are starting to have really trash social skills. So they really don't be making babies like that. Each year the amount of marriages significantly falls, and it's even been reported that currently 70% of men in their 20s in Japan have no spouse or partner. Even the couples that do exist are kind of brainwashed to only think money, money, money. And I don't know if you know, but having a kid costs a lot of money. Therefore, straight up, no one is having any babies. And some companies are having an absolute blast exploiting loneliness in Japan. Whilst
Yes, absolutely. Every single one who are making adult entertainment to all of those that allow you to have like what are they called, host cafes, so that you can rent a girlfriend for like 3 hours. It's wild.
before they just made fortunes selling sake. Now it's leveled up. I mean, it makes a lot of sense choosing an anime pillow or an online digital waifu over an actual human when you spend 12 hours a fucking day in a tiny office crunching numbers like Cheerios after a night out. To add to this problem though, Japanese healthcare is kinda just too good, and Japanese people are kinda just too healthy due to their traditional diet, the cleanliness of cities, and simply their genes. But why on earth is that a problem? Well, it means lots of old people, and I mean fucking shit tons of old people. 1 in 10 people in Japan are 80 or over. Over 30% of Japanese people are 65 plus. Compare that 30% to the USA's 16% and China's 11%. You can see how insane and unprecedented that is.
Wow. What a shot to stop at. I did watch a Netflix documentary on Japan by night that was actually pretty interesting on a bunch of different things, where there was this granny that was 80-something-year-old who had a cafe. Yeah. Was it a cafe? At least like some kind of food store or something that she had during the day, and at night she was a DJ. I was like, wow, I did not see that coming. So yeah, longevity is definitely a thing that they have. I think last year during a stream where we talked about the but just the overall loneliness epidemic, one of the solutions that the video maker proposed was one of the model that was showcased in Japan. Because firstly, it's as for mentioned here by chat, they don't really take mental health that seriously in certain things. So it's only when you are like close to like the centenary ages that you actually get the benefits of being taken care of. Mental checkups, being part of a community where you can discuss with people and have those interpersonal relationships. But it's like, it's too late, dude. You're about to die. So creating an entire culture of, well, you're only going to do that once you're retired, kind of sucks.
And unfortunately, as we know, old people die more than young people. So as less Japanese babies are born, but more Japanese old people die, the population is absolutely collapsing. It went down by 800,000 last year alone. Now, usually countries don't fare amazingly with big population declines like this, but it's especially bad for countries that are so reliant off massive, consistently growing domestic urban workforces, a bit like Japan has been for the last 80 years. Japan's whole business model completely falls apart with population falling and average age getting older, because old people retire and don't generate money for the state. Actually, they do the opposite. Japan's social welfare spending is set to rise 60% by 2040, and to fund that, Japan is going to have less young, dedicated, taxable workers than before. In 2010, there were 128 million Japanese people. By 2056, we could very possibly be looking at it dropping below 100 mil. See, the problem with relying on your country's individuals to act as money-generating components within some big fuck-off engine is that But if those individuals stop multiplying like they used to and start dropping dead from stress, you end up with less components but the same big engine. And you can't run an engine with half the required amount of pistons or valves, can you? For example, property recession. Less people, same amount of houses. More supply, less demand. The market is crashing. That's just one of thousands of examples of how population decline is abysmal for Japan's economy and its fucking 92% urbanized population. Now, the Japanese government...
Yeah, this is why Shinzo Abe, whatever opinion you may have on the guy, was saying before he got sent to the Shadow Realm to people, Yotogi! So, basically, go to rural areas and fuck. Like, literally, the strategy that Japan was employing was beautiful. They were like, guys, you need to start banging.
Knows all this, and they're now desperately trying to backtrack and decrease the wide-scale urbanization they were so frantic to create half a century ago. They're offering millions of yen to young people in return for them moving out of Tokyo and starting more rural lives. They're launching advertising campaigns intended to get young people out drinking and improving their social skills. They're doubling spending on childcare and considering literally giving new parents cash payouts. And funniest of all, they're funding adverts on TV, which essentially just promote banging. And I do think it's pretty hilarious that all those years of forcing notoriously cold, harsh, robotic, strictly profit-focused values down Japanese people's throats just led to the government desperately running ad campaigns promoting partying, sex, and farms. Exactly what they were originally trying to discourage. Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, this is why you don't go to extremes. Either ways, like, it's fine. I appreciate what Japan does. I absolutely love the respect that they have, the culture that they fostered around that. It's great. As anybody who comes from a southern country or just southern European or whatever, like one of the stereotypical countries that have a relationship with a certain variant of La Chancla bike shoes. But yeah, you know, the ones where your mom or grandma will be throwing shit at you. Yeah, we understand this small thing of like navigating a fine line between respect and fear. But yeah, when you then, like Japan, have a thing about being respectful, it's nice, but don't take it to the extreme of people not even being willing to speak their minds or taking vacation because of fear of, I don't know, whatever the fuck it is that is instilled in the society. It's nice. I love Japan to a certain degree, but like anything else, they should take it easy sometimes too. Most people will tell Asians to reproduce more and being more to repopulate. I mean, well, if that is needed, then why not? Yeah, sorry about the stream before. That was a mistake. I happened to close the original one. Okay, so we have another one here from Casual Geographics. Let me look it up real quick. I haven't checked the channel for some time, so there should be a couple, or at least 3 videos already that he's put out that I haven't watched. Have you heard of Noita? Yes, I have. The wonderful Finnish game that was made out of a... Oh, they made their own engine to make that. Where like every single particles in the game are like destructible. Yeah, I know of Noita. Magic based for the most part. but I haven't played it. I know it just vicariously through other content creators. North Korea or Chernobyl? Chernobyl is not as bad as people make it out to be now. It's literally one of the sanctuaries to some of the best dog species in the world, because they have learned how to avoid places where there was too much radiation and stuff like that. So these are literally dogs that are working like wolves, like very coordinated, and they have like a hierarchy of like not command but like leadership. So yeah, Chernobyl is not as bad as people make it out to be today. Today. So I take Chernobyl if I get the chance. Alright, so let's talk about animals. Because we have a video here by Casual Geographics that is called The Psychopathic Hunting Habits of Satan's Favorite Bird. That title is cursed. Absolutely cursed. One thing that I can say for sure is this. There are certain animals, at least certain birds, that I definitely see as being problematic, to say the least. So, which one should we start with? The shoebill. I guess that some of you know the shoebill. Oh shit, we're still here in the the atomic discussion. Let's finish this real quick then. Hydrogen bomb versus... okay. What about gay bombs? Wow. Hey there, Mino Madness. Thank you for being here. Alright, but animals that I think are kind of problematic. I think for one would be the shoebill. The shoebill is weird because it can basically be confused as like the most hood animal to ever exist, as it can often be confused as being a drive-by shooting. If you've ever heard a shoebill make noises, you know what I'm talking about. Next one would be the magpie, the Australian bird there, that everybody's saying do not swoop, but they will definitely swoop the eyes out of your sockets because those things are freaking aggressive. Next one on the satanic birds. The harpy bird is one that is a great reminder that Brazil is not for everybody. And there's a last one that I'm not too sure how to pronounce, the cassowary. Let me look it up. I need to show you a picture of the cassowary because that thing is literally prehistoric. Cassowary. Oh. Oh, there went the church bells. On the other side, we have a church like right on the other side of the road. All right, well, where was I? Cassowary birds. Here. Bum. Look at this fucking thing. Oh, god damn it, I'm not sharing my screen. Why? There we go. Look at his head. Tell me that this thing is not a dinosaur. It looks ancient. yeah. On a scale of prehistoric creatures, it's definitely up there. So yeah, let's see what he has to say here on these satanic, god damn it, psychopathic hunting habits of Satan's favorite birds. What the fuck just happened? Yeah, the harpy. Oh no, oh no, sorry. Sound is down. Let's go back.
NANI?! Slick back. That's what I said. Slick back. No, I'm a pimp named Slick back. Pimp named Slick back.
You see this nest? You want to know what built this nest? You don't want to know what built this nest. You want to know what made these bones? You don't want to know what made these.
Yikes.
This bird's a buckbeak coated me to my mental stability. The harpy eagle's a homicidal hippogriff with the jungle census on its hit list. And a big reason is harpies having the largest claws of any bird. Not only do they have vice grip talons that could comfortably dap up a grizzly bear's paws, they say getting gripped by them is like getting caught in a Rottweiler's jaws. They're the national bird of Panama, but you finna be pantomiming once this Jurassic reject takes your breath. By crushing your windpipe, but by far.
I felt that they were in the Amazon. That's why I made the Brazil joke. Okay, well, never mind.
The most out-of-pocket thing is what nature went ahead and did with their wings. Unlike most birds its size, harpy eagles have relatively short wings. I'm talking about if eagles were the NBA, this would be their build. But the short wings just means this life unsubscription service can duck and weave through the dense jungle to catch a body. Which also means there are very few things alive in the Amazon that a hunting harpy can't pack up.
Okay.
From monkeys and sloths, to armadillos, snakes, and porcupines, to other predators like ocelots and foxes. They'll also body other birds like parrots, and they'll even murk other raptors like vultures. But then, what even is a raptor? The answer might just surprise you. Raptors are what most people might call birds of prey, which is already a problem because there's plenty of other birds that'll have you preying. So the raptor title gets gatekept to the birds with all three: a sharp hooked beak, a Jurassic-style pedicure and talons, and an OP sense of sight. So without a hooked beak but webbed feet, the demonic garbage chute misses the cut. Chronic Crash Out the Canada Goose doesn't sit at the raptor lunch table because if it did, it probably would have seen that coming. But the whole raptor thing's a pain in the prostate, and it's because raptors, they're basically cats that can fly. You remember the cat video I made and how insanely convoluted the names got? Like how a black panther isn't actually an animal, a cat called a panther isn't actually a panther, a snow leopard is genetically closer to a tiger, and how a cougar pushing 220 ain't a big cat but a cat barely a $110 is. Raptors are low-key the same, where the name raptor doesn't describe a family or union, but like Black Panther, raptor is more like a description. But I'm gonna get to that. Now the other problem with raptors is that nature basically bamboozled them. Of course the ability to fly is broken, but it comes with hollow bones. Now hollow bones aren't to keep the bird light enough for flight, it's more that pneumatic bones are filled with air and so give extra oxygen to fuel their flight. But it also means a broken bone is a career-ending injury for an avian, and as hunters, they're on the risk of getting folded by their own prey. The compromise is, raptors have some of the most heinously creative ways of confiscating consciousness, revoking your existence. Whatever you want to call it, the bird of prey hunting strat is straight out of the pages of a mob boss's torture diary, and we can.
Dude, imagine being Final Destination by a bird. If those weren't so small, I would imagine like a happy bird carrying a rock, but literally attacking cars. It's a good thing that they aren't that hostile to humans, at least not like the magpie is. Satan's prostate being punched. This guy's a wordsmith. I love him. I love him for that.
To start with the secretary bird, aka Jurassic Park in yoga pants, named after the fact that, like a secretary, they'll connect you to the big boss upstairs if you give them the chance. They cancel prey by kicking them in the head until they flatline or just lie flat, and their usual targets are snakes. The combo of delivering multiple kicks in a time it takes to blink, and how disrespectfully accurate they are, all adds up to a 6-piece serpent assault where they spam a river dance on a snake's skull until it caves in, leaving the snake out of order like a reptile dysfunction. You gotta hand it to them, that's pretty metal. Actually, you should do the opposite since the dysfunction. You gotta
Did you read what he wrote
they
there?
spam a river dance on a snake's skull until it caves in, leaving the snake out of order like a reptile dysfunction.
Don't think so. Justice for Gotham. That's so good. That is so good.
You gotta hand it to them, that's pretty metal. Actually, you should do the opposite since the Kung Fu Crane can apparently shatter the bones in a human hand. And it's not just snakes, secretaries will go after things like cheetah cubs and baby gazelle. I think
Petition to change the name of secretaries to Kung Fu Crane. That's nice.
now's a good time to mention they can be an honest 4 feet tall, with a thigh gap no less. As you can see, they're liable to violate snakes and beauty standards, all while being one of the few birds with 2 pairs of wings, no Red Bull. This high-stepping battery charges with all the smoke, literally, cause they'll gather around brush fires just for the opportunity to murk any small animal running for its life. Don't let the pretty privilege distract you. It's an African assassin chicken in thigh boots dressed like a recently divorced mother of 3. And they're not the only ones, cause I'll be honest, I low-key forgot this bird existed. This is a Seriama. It's basically a Latin secretary bird, but the real family tree flex is they're the only living relatives of terror birds. Yes, those terror birds. They might be less vertically gifted at less than 2 feet tall, but instead of kicking, Seriamas rather body slam their prey to death. The dinosaur time forgot will grab prey and slam them into the ground or against a rock, repeatedly. They'll spam suplex as many times as it takes for the bones to break. And if you're too big for all that, they'll use the same sickle claw their prehistoric cousins used to hold down prey and disembowel it alive. So if you get targeted by a Seriama, you'll either get the Hulk to Loki treatment except from a travel-sized terror turkey, eviscerated and violated while pinned by a weaponized toenail, or just swallowed clean like a Vorophile's wet dream. So far, we have a curb-stomping aggro bird and a mob boss build and terror bird final form. And we're just getting started. This is a kite, and before you ask, this was named after the bird, not the other way around. The kite is like the forgotten little brother of eagles and hawks, and like a kite, they catch bodies by hovering above the ground and waiting for movement, so they can
We have those here. Whenever I bike to the gym, there's always one hanging around. I don't know exactly if they're like they originate from up here, like Northern Europe, but we have a bunch of them here.
swoop down and snatch it. I believe kiting is the expression. They're pretty cool. They grief many of the insects that make life slightly less worth living. The 17-year cicada parade is basically their Super Bowl. Like the secretary bird, they too will gather around grass fires, and any animal trying to run from the smoke gets ironically cooked. But Australian black kites take it a step felony by carrying burning twigs and dropping them on patches of grass. An act of avian arson that got them another name: Firehawks. Apparently this is nothing new, with records of them stealing brands from indigenous cooking fires and dropping them half a mile away. There have even been scientific records of them dropping bread into water to bait small fish, and if it wasn't for this clip, I probably wouldn't believe it. You'd think an aerial arsonist airdrop.
What? You beat it? Okay, that is so clever. I would have never believed it either. What the hell?
If it wasn't for this clip, I probably wouldn't believe it. You'd think an aerial arsonist airdropping Inferno in a country that has up to 60,000 wildfires a year would immediately get blacklisted. But no, black kites are protected because once again, of course a felon with wings is above the law. They're also banned in Boston, but only because we all know Boston can't stand the heat. Now I have a whole video on owls, so I'm not going to talk too much about them. But this is the start of what I was talking about, because you'd normally expect a raptor to be related to other raptors. Instead, the owl's closest relative looks like a Muppet flashlight. Flashlight.
No. Why did he put that word in my head? With this picture, bruv. You cannot do this. Flashlight. Buddy.
Well, I can't say that. Owls are predators on incognito, thanks to feathers that allow them to fly almost completely silently. Again, you don't realize how unsettling that is till you go to bed a family and wake up a single mother. They also have a satellite dish for a face and uneven ears, so even under a foot of snow, they can hear exactly where you're about to go. Owls are 100% the closest thing to cryptids with wings, and while they haven't murked people, allegedly, there's plenty of predators that do feed off unsuspecting humans with wings, and while they haven't murked people, allegedly, there's plenty of predators that do feed off unsuspecting humans, just like you, including arguably the worst predator of all, data brokers. There's a lot of data brokers that feed themselves by collecting your personal information and selling it to the highest bidder. And it's deeper than selling your browser history to companies wanting to know what to sell you back. Some insurance companies will team up with brokers and actually raise your rates based on what you put out online. Cyber criminals can steal personal info like your social security from a broker. And if you've ever gotten one of those robocalls,
Having a bird called a flashlight today was not what I expected when I clicked on this video, okay? That's nuts. Dude, you can't write suddenly in the comment, brothers, we must stay focused. Bruv. That's a wild take, dude. Mythical coffee.
Finding out just how many people have your information, you can rest easy knowing Incogni basically puts you on a whitelist against predatory brokers. The number of victims of data breaches has gone up over 40% in the last few years, and if you don't want to be a statistic, make sure you go to incogni.com/casualgeo and use the code casualgeo for 60% off an annual plan to guard your private
Yeah, of course,
data.
I'm taking
'Cause believe me,
suggestions.
if you knew some of the places your info is right now, your head would spin. Kinda like, wait for it. Yeah, there it is. That's what it looks like to get folded by a falcon. You see, falcons are cool, but they're weaker than
punch.
eagles and hawks, so instead they commit to the fastest hitting runs on Earth. Literally, the fastest. So falcons like the peregrine will start up high and dive, that's called the stoop, and once the flying derecho hits triple-digit miles per hour, they'll ball up their feet like a fist. So yeah, they really do falcon punch their prey in the past tense. Didn't even give them time to duck. Not only that, but falcons also have a toenail tooth made specifically to snap spinal cords and send prey to the Lord like Sunday service, all while flying. The one-shot specialist has been known to snipe bald and golden eagles threatening their nest. And there was one time a snowy owl murked a falcon fledgling, so the mother falcon went and life-deprived the owl. There's a lot of ways falcons are built for speed, but the biggest flex is that they have the fastest processing speed of any animal
Oh,
alive.
yeah.
Compared to us, they see the world in slow motion. Falcons are dope, but because of them we have to address the whole raptor thing again. Because instead of hawks, eagles, or any other bird of prey, the missile with wings is most related to parrots. So again, raptor isn't a family name, most of them aren't even closely related. But there are a lot of falcons, like the American kestrel. I like them because they're pretty,
Yeah.
small. The colorway ain't bad either. They also factory reset prey by stabbing them in the back of the head with that tooth, but you can't deny this psychopath's cute. The black-thighed falconet is the smallest bird of prey in the weight class of a sparrow, yet they also find a way to pack up other birds. The pygmy falcon is a nest pirate that often shacks up in the homes of weaver birds. Normally it's a good gig with the pygmies clearing out snakes and lizards, but sometimes they'll switch up and kill their weaver bird roommates, so there's that. But there's another falcon that might just be the biggest
Fratricide.
bird off of all, and it might also be the most underrated. Next to bad is the caracara. The caracara is a black Air Force parrot. Unlike every other falcon, they'd rather handle business on the ground. They live on honey badger timing, since they'll pull up to a carcass and bully bigger vultures out of the way. Crested caracara is a special kind of klepto. They'll straight up mob other birds like pelicans and press them into vomiting their lunch so they can have it. Striated caracara is an Pennywise level threat to minor safety.
Ew, that's nasty. Okay, that's straight up disgusting. Hey. Throw that up. Now. I'm gonna eat your dinner. But it's already in my stomach. Did I stutter? Yikes.
You know, raptor comes from the Latin word to seize or take by force. That's what this avian Amber Alert lives by. Caracaras will also link up with each other and form gangs and have honest-to-God turf wars. Even back in the day, they were on Darwin's radar. In 1830, he mentioned how curious they were, but also how annoying it was to live around a bird that'll steal anything that isn't nailed down. Turns out this affiliated delinquent of a bird is low-key the gifted student of the raptor class and is even smart enough to solve puzzles for fun. Basically, caracaras are if the peregrine falcon and the secretary bird had a baby, but it was adopted and raised by crows and tutored by the Keon on weekends. Just an overall underrated menace of a dinosaur, but also a hyper-intelligent, talented opportunist. Actually, I take that back. Vultures might be the most underrated. People assume something with the feeding habits of a casket is a pushover, and they do get their cookies taken by other raptors. But vultures very much can be about that life too, especially since black vultures often won't wait for an animal to expire. They'll put weak, sick, or young animals on a shirt. Some farmers know all too well. Sometimes they'll wait for a cow to give birth just to jump the newborn and return to sender. Sometimes they won't even wait and they'll move on a cow in labor and act like the world's most malicious midwives. Getting violated by vultures means eyes gouged out, tongue torn off, and they'll even break through the back door. Basically the booty warrior of birds, but unlike boondocks, this one's protected by law. From a
Okay. I'm a warrior. I like you, and I want you. We can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours. No, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. Jesus Christ.
A surgical psychopath to a scavenger. Yet a bearded vulture eats almost nothing but bones, and they've even been known to swallow ones nearly a foot long. But once in a while, they'll go after the living, sometimes in the form of airdropping the tortoise hundreds of feet to feed on the insides like a piñata. You know, mountain climbers were so spiritually disturbed by the beardy, they called it the bird of Satan. To be fair, they have a sclera ring around their eyes that fills with blood when stressed and makes their eyes turn bloodshot when running a fade. The Grim Reaper's War King with a whole showering gun activated. I don't blame him, that is demonic character design. Also, a bearded vulture allegedly murked a man with a turtle shell to the head like Mario Kart, which sounds fake, but keep in mind, there's a woman walking around with scars from breaking a porcupine's fall. RNG can be a real ad. All that, and you still can't show me a bird with the harpy eagle's aura. We already mentioned the life-canceling claws that could probably crush your skull, which is why harpy eagles have a prey list of over 116 species. And that includes putting other raptors like seriamas and vultures on shirts. But don't think for 1 second nature came out with this and stopped there. The African crowned eagle is basically the harpy of the motherland. Same survival-revoking claws, and same short wings to make it a menace to monkey kind. And they're the only raptor to allegedly see people as prey, with reports of human child remains in nests and the infamous tongue child believed to have been packed up by an African crown. Honestly, any continent outside of Penguin Land has at least one of these eagles. Australian wedgetails go after kangaroos and dingoes, and their territory will enough to fade $1,000 drone on site. There was one.
Okay, fair enough. Dude, if there's an eagle that can take away the dingo, fine. I rock with that. Quite literally. If you know, The Rock is a giant, but fuck, that was a bad joke. But no. You know the whole thing about the dingo ate my baby, and literally a movie that was made about it. This lady who was supposedly had killed her own child, but it was actually an animal that had done the deed. Yeah, and it literally became a meme that is now employed in pop culture all the time. But yeah, if there's a deterrent for those dingoes in the form of a avian, yeah, why not?
One time a wedgie fought a helicopter and won, past tensing a pilot in the process. RIP. The North American golden eagle has a hit list of prey in the 400s. But really their claim to fame is how they'll give goats a first-class flight to the gulag with no return trip. I'm sorry, this is so disrespectful. Look at this animation. He gave him an NPC death, gave him nothing but time to reflect. There's the Philippine eagle, which honestly mogs the out of everyone for no reason. But there might not be a bigger flex than the stellar sea eagle. You know, if this wasn't on camera, nobody'd ever believe you. It's one of the heaviest eagles on Earth with an 8-foot wingspan. It's an oppressive force in Featherface that's apparently been seen carting off seals. Clearly the meteor told him to take a sick day, cause dog, you're not telling me that's not a dinosaur. And low-key, they might go the same way. For all the harpy hate I was talking, there's no recorded case of a harpy eagle killing or even attacking a human. In fact, it's them not being afraid of humans that can get them put on a shirt by poachers. Add habitat destruction, and if raptors like them aren't endangered, they're at least in danger of being endangered. Which is why you got places like the Raptor Trust in Millington, New Jersey, looking after all kinds of birds from Ollie the kestrel to Virgil the turkey vulture. They got couples too, like Mariah and Thor the golden eagles. They're mad cute together. And of course the symbol of America, Colonel and Uno. Uno because of the whole one wing thing. Even though they're technically not raptors, I even met Ray the Raven. You know what's crazy? He's in a cage, and he's in a relationship with another wild raven. Like, he'll even sneak food between the bars of his cage for her. You know what's crazier? His girl has a whole nother family in the wild. I usually don't rock with homewreckers, but I'm rocking with Ray. But like I said, my favorites were definitely the owls, especially this barred owl named Sunny. I think he liked me. Although the vultures gotta be a close second, since they'll literally walk up and follow you around like a puppy. Oh, this isn't sponsored, by the way. I just had a good time and wanted to shout them out. So if you're ever in the area, the Raptor Trust in Millington, New Jersey, 100% recommended. But that's gonna do it for this video. Drink water, hug your mother, get that. Shout out to Incogni for sponsoring this video. Shout out to the Pigeon Paralysis Demon for sponsoring Imagination. And I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.
This is why we love cats. Mine literally does that. It annoys the fuck out of birds. Yeah. Where's Griffith? No, Griffith is already in one place. He got representation in Elden Ring. I think that's enough. That's enough for him. And even better, you know what? He did that in June. So you get the implications. Okay, this video was wild. The NPC death there was the wildest one. And of course, all of the innuendos that were mentioned. Still, freaking nature's flashlight. Oh, no, that image is going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. That was nice. But yeah, subscribe to some Casual Geographics if you want to see more of those kind of descriptions and wonderful lingo. He's mad for saying those things. Okay, next one here we have... oh, there's actually... Let me see, from Discord, there's an Internet Historian video. Gulp, gulp. The abortion bird. That one was nasty. Okay, so Internet Historian has a new video on his Incognito Mode channel on exploration. I have no idea what it's about. Somebody searching for stuff under the bed. Kind of weird, but let's watch it. Oh, sponsored by NordVPN.
Exploration. Exploration! What is exploration?
Ah, no one's climbed this one before. Whee! Witness this moment, local. Make a note, boy.
Yeah, I used to plow once, but I've given it up. Now I'm more of an explorer. Maybe I should explore my sexuality. What the hell is that? Under the ocean, I'm afraid there's not much to see. A gun!
We are going to watch something on the Kendrick Lamar situation. I have some thoughts about it because it's way deeper than people make it out to be. It's a beef that's been going on since 2011, I want to say. So, like, king of petty, that is Kendrick. Respect to him for what he's doing against the vile lies of Drake, and more than just lies. Yeah, 2024 is the year of finding out who you should hide your children from. But yeah, we will watch some stuff on Kendrick Lamar in a bit, but this one first. I have watched the NASCAR video. It was pretty interesting. That will come out later this week.
First things first, a little bit of admin.
Yes.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, thank you.
I just wanted to let you know, in honor of you, my friend, I'm going to avoid using any homophobic slurs for the rest of the month.
Well, maybe just for the next 10 minutes.
Wait, I'm still going to say them, but I just won't say them with as much vitriol. How about
How
that?
about I'll pull a Tay-Zonde and pull away from the mic to say them.
I didn't know that Mini Kudos was. Is he? Or are they just joking?
You imagine that? Like, we're just having a chat, and then you just hear, like, a quiet slur. Like, just in the mic off to the
Just off in the distance. You're right. What, did you say something?
No.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
And of course you've got your Discord set up so that, like, it's so sensitive that it picks up even the smallest sounds.
The best.
That's a really funny idea.
All right, what did you actually want to talk about?
Hawaii.
We've flown to Hawaii in a couple of months. When you look at that on the map, oh boy, those dudes be out there. I feel like in general that would be quite a relaxing living for the last several thousand years. Just chilling, eating fish and fucking coconuts and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was fairly brutish as well. Like, Captain Cook, he died in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he got run over by a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, that's right. And he got killed by the locals. And one of the reasons for that was they became very scared of the Europeans because this was their second voyage over. And the first time, someone went on the ship sick. They go, guys, does anyone have a cold? Does anyone have a flu? It's serious. You can't come. You can't come if you're sick. No, I swear, it's just my allergies. It's just the sea air. All right. And then they brought him along, and then he sneezed.
Yeah, it's the second time this happened. Well, where he caused a major debacle, right? Columbus did that too.
Sneezed on one of the locals, and then 90% of the population died.
Just ran up and sneezed on him.
And then he went back to England or whatever. And in the meanwhile, the Hawaiians are going, what the heck? They put a curse
What
on
we
us.
see.
And then Captain Cook shows up again, and he's going, I'm loving this. This was brilliant last time. They had coconut bras. They had coconut cocktails.
Coconut music.
Yeah. They didn't have horses, but they would clap the coconut halves together.
Oh my
Brass
god.
skirt, loving it. Especially when there was a strong breeze.
That was a Monty Python reference and the Holy Grail.
And shirts.
Moana on TV. And anyway, they were loving it. And then all of a sudden they see the natives and they're running up. And this time they got spears. And they're going, what? What's going on? And then,
What the hell, man? Pretty sure I heard something different. That doesn't seem right.
were you calling me a liar?
I don't know. I heard something different.
Yeah, hold on, let me Google. I'll Google it. Look, I found these ladies. They will be the arbiters of the whole thing.
Cook is, horrible because he brought disease. He's not terribly important. The best thing about him is that we killed him.
Oh, wow.
That's sick.
Demon time.
It's not very nice.
I'm glad we ate him.
This is where Cook went, took his diseases to the Maoris, to the Tahitians, whatever. We can stay. We Hawaiians took care of this problem here. We killed Cook.
They didn't know about germ theory. He didn't know. All right, this lady didn't give us any substantial information. So we consulted Wikipedia as to what actually happened. Okay, so here's what happened. So Cook, right, he returns, and it's not just him, there's other people with him. They return to Hawaii, and they need to do repairs because their ship, the mast is broken. While they're doing that, there's a series of thefts from Cook's camp. It says here that they stole iron tongs and baskets.
Oh.
So it's like, it's the valuable stuff, you gotta keep that in the vault.
They're real high value items.
So they put up with the thieving and the pinching for a while, but then, so they've got these boats, right? So they park them in the ocean. You don't want to get too close to the beach. You don't want to get stuck on the shore. So you then take these little boats all the way to the shore, and they're called cutters. At one point they discovered, hey, someone's stolen one of our little boats. So the next day, Cook and about 10 of his dudes, they march ashore, right? And they go up to the Hawaiian king, and his name is like Turiabu. And they go, you're coming with us, fella. We're going to take you as a hostage, and then we're going to force the natives to return the boat, please,
Also, I want those tongs back. And that basket.
And also, how did you possibly get past our security to steal the tongs
What
and
security?
basket?
But in the chaos, when they're trying to take the king, a Hawaiian chief shows up,
Okay.
and his name is like Kalimu, and he's shot and killed.
Real bad timing on his part.
Things have escalated from tongs and boats to murder.
I like to imagine he just pops into the hut like, oh, hey guys, what's happening here? Bang! just real wrong place, wrong time.
I got those 10 Hawaiian pizzas you ordered.
Pizza time.
So the natives, they get angry.
Obviously.
Understandably.
Cook and his crew take off running. They're going back for the longboats.
Yep.
They're like, we got to get out of there. We got to get off this island. We've made a big mistake.
Yep.
Huge. And then while they're pushing their boats into the water, Cook and the crew are attacked by the natives. Uh-oh. Now, they're fighting, and it's like, it's all in slow motion. And Cook turns around, he shoots and he kills a native warrior. At that point, he is then struck with a wooden club, and then someone stabs him with an iron dagger.
Oh,
Real like level 1 goblin items to be killed by. He took a collective 12 damage from that.
Cook then fell down, and he, along with 4 other soldiers, were never seen again by the men who escaped back to the Resolution, which is the big ship.
Yeah.
And then they like weirdly preserved his body and did a whole bunch of things. We can't show the images. It's very gruesome. I think they kind of
jeez.
liked him by the end. Yeah, at least once he was dead.
It's hard to be angry at a body, I guess.
Yeah. Interesting.
That is, yeah, okay, that's very different to what I was led to believe. I would like to know how this other chief was shot and killed. Well, I suppose the instigating event was the theft, but that definitely escalated it a little bit. Like, how do you go from...
Yeah, the chief might have attacked him or something.
Okay, yeah, if it was a self-defense, then that would make a bit more sense. I'm so sorry to the editor who has to proofread all the nonsense that I've, like, all the nonsense and half-truths.
Yeah, things that we've like overheard in a fever dream.
Yeah, like heard half of at a pub
When
because
we're in the club, or we're in the like, you know, somewhere cool.
Yeah.
Like, me just with an ear to a glass at the toilet stall.
you would be surprised how often this happens. I have not gone on a, well, calling it a bender would be wrong to say because I never drank that widely, but I haven't gotten drunk in a while, over a decade in the least. But when we used to go to nightclubs a lot, because one of my friends' older brother actually owned a nightclub, and we used to help him work there. That was a nice way of earning some extra cash during the weekends. But when we used to do that, a typical thing that will happen is that when people get drunk, obviously the defenses go down. They start opening up a little bit, they loosen up. It's a fine thing. However, there are some people who start getting straight up philosophical on you, and they start discussing about things that are way irrelevant. And so learning about stuff like these in a nightclub or at a party it's genuine. It happens.
At the kebab shop, and I'm just like, yeah, that's a good fact.
Yeah,
I'm loving that.
I'm gonna put that's going.
What else happened?
Right in the brain, right in the memory hole for later. They're gonna love this one.
Ad time. Nordman, I sentence you to 2 years in the prison, Slammer. But I'm innocent. And just so you learn a lesson, here's 4 additional months. Welcome to my life. In Schnorr-Schnack. It's hell in here. They track your every move.
Prisoners, it's time for cookies. I hope you'll accept them.
There's no privacy in this jail at all. It's like a goddamn prison.
We have trackers all over this prison, and we're gonna use that to collect data and sell it to marketers. But someone here has been...
We're watching the Internet Historian on his exploration video. It doesn't have anything specific on what we're exploring, different fields. So, yeah. He used to do a series called In the Field during the lockdown, so I think this is just a continuation of it.
using a VPN, and I have a suspicion of who it is.
I'll never rat out my crew, Warden.
Have it your way, then.
Just let me out, Warden. You don't have to make this such a huge deal.
So
Wait a minute.
stupid.
Something in my prison wallet.
Kid, if you ever find yourself in the hole, use this. Saley eSIM.
The Saley eSIM gives you 20 gigabytes of mobile data, which you can use anywhere in the world. And then you pair it with the NordVPN app, and then you're totally anonymous as well, and you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything.
A gift when you sign up to NordVPN.
Hello, Nord 24-hour support hotline? I'm in solitary and I'm feeling very alone right now.
Where did he go? Impossible!
Come with me.
I can't. I belong here. But where are you gonna go, kid?
With Nord's thousands of servers around the globe, anywhere but here.
Final call for the flight. All passengers please line up.
So dramatic.
Not leaving so soon, are you?
Huh?
I changed my mind about jail.
Saley man?
I
Silly man.
sentence you to a life sentence with me. Naughty Dufresne was never seen again by authorities. But he went on to commit many, many more crimes. So get NordVPN today with nordvpn.com/incognito. Get a huge deal on a 2-year plan plus 4 extra months. And when you sign up using my link, you get a free eSIM with Saley. Hey, that's pretty good.
He does it well for them.
Would you live at the bottom of the ocean?
Absolutely
No,
not.
no.
Not even.
No,
Not even.
no. Hell no. Bottom of the ocean, forget it. You know what? I way better spend it. They're going to make a Bioshock reference, aren't they? Because that's literally where my brain went. Either in Rapture or Colombia. Well, Colombia is not an option because during a stream I tried Bioshock Infinite and I found out that well, it was basically racist land. So no, neither is an option. Actually, no, we're not going in the air. We're staying grounded as we are right now. Fuck no.
I don't even want to think about it. No. Look, I played Bioshock 1 and 2. That seems like an awful idea. It'd be fun to visit, maybe.
I'd quite like to live under the ocean.
Really?
That seems really neat, you know, live in a big glass semicircle.
You have like a chute, like a window that just opens up and just fish pour in, you close it, and that's your dinner. I just like to imagine like some like 1950s housewife just opening up the windows to get some air in and just a bunch of fish flopping. The apple pie on the windowsill just gets obliterated.
Now, I wanted to show you this because I saw this the other day and I thought it was very neat. Okay, so this is a very cool channel. It's called Natural World Facts, right? And this particular video is on brine pools. And so what happens is, at the bottom of the ocean, there are different levels of salinity, and sometimes you end up with these pockets of exceedingly salty water. And they're usually filled with like sulfur and lots of other bad stuff too.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, oh, this guy's, you know, here's this crab, and he's loving it, and look at all these muscles. Brilliant.
You'd be stoked.
Absolutely. And then there's a pool over here, and somehow it's
spilling over.
reached its wall, and then it's just slid downhill, and it spills out like a river running through the bottom of the ocean, across the sea floor. And it just finds like its lowest point, right? Because it's heavier than the rest of the water.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And there's all these like oysters that are like, it's great being down here, lower than the brine pool. I'm loving this.
Look at those idiots up there stuck in the brine pool, unlike us. Downhill chads.
Food's falling down here all the time. We're getting big and fat and we love it.
The downhill chad versus the brine pool virgin.
And then it's like, hey, what's that? What's that smell? Is it getting darker? 5 seconds later, he's like, I can't get out of the way. I can't get out of the way. And they just get devastated.
So it really is like the Goo Lagoon in SpongeBob, like how
Yes.
they have water. It's the sequel to
Yes.
water. There's water inside water. It's crazy that it is just so much darker. Like in a fantasy game, that would be the void or the dark evil that seeps across the land.
Look at these stupid fish. Like, they can see it's just death incarnate, and then...
What's down here?
Oh, I'm dying.
No.
I'm dying. I'm dead.
Yeah, fish are stupid. I think if they had eyebrows, we'd feel bad for them.
Right.
But they don't. So, like, if you saw someone, like, throw a puppy off a cliff, you'd feel horrible.
Right.
But, like, discusing a fish off a cliff, that would honestly be one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They're so alien looking, and they can't emote that you don't really feel bad for them. I feel like being a fish is literally the worst animal you could roll.
Yeah.
Because, like, at least if you're a land mammal, you can at least see the world around you.
Right.
Fish is like, you can see at most 2 to 5 meters in front of you.
Yeah, you got your eyes at the side of your head.
At any point, you can just get 5 Nights at Freddy's jump scared by, like, a bigger fish, of which there is, like, infinite amounts of.
Like, oh, wow, look, a tasty morsel. That thing looks delicious. So I go and I take a little bite. Oh my god, something's pulling on my face. Something's pulling on my fucking face. And then you know what? You might pull a cool trick and somehow you might get loose of the line and you go, whew, that wasn't a tasty morsel at all. I got tricked. Oh, there's something in my mouth. And you've just got the hook now forever. It's like, there's something between my teeth. Steve, could you get this?
Could you imagine just having, even just the idea of like something between your teeth and you can't do anything about it? But imagine, then just having like a piece of shrapnel in your face that's just stuck there. And not only do you not have the capability of removing it, nobody you know does.
And no one feels any sympathy either. At best you get you got a new piercing.
Yeah. Damn, Jeff's gone metal, huh?
Well, I think it's because no matter what, the fish's life ends in a brutal and violent way.
Yes.
There is no fish retirement.
The fish grows old and grey and then
Just
slumps off from the herd to die a peaceful life amongst the trees and...
Hold my fin.
Fish holler.
I see the light. No, it's getting eaten, torn apart. Your cheeks getting pulled by a rod. You're getting dissolved by stomach acid alongside 500 other fish in the whale's guts. You're drowning in saltier water. There's no good out.
No.
For a fish.
No.
Because, the idea of being a fish is like, you're in like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 24/7. Like,
If you get adopted as a pet, you just get flushed down the toilet for some.
Direction they turn around, you hear the revving of the chainsaw.
You're literally running 24/7, except you've also got 2 extra axes to deal with because a fish could come from above or below too.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You can't like hide behind a bush. I guess you could hide in some rocks on the seabed. And also visibility, right? Like, unless you're in crystal clear waters.
And
Would I want to return to some primitive times? No, but I would like to live a bit further away from like just the pollution that is the cities. I mean, that's why I kind of love what we have here. It's like a mixture of like sort of rural and urban. Like, we have plenty of woods we can escape to if we want to, but we don't have an exorbitant amount of traffic around here. So we have a perfect mixture. Anything that has like skyscrapers around it is something that you can automatically forget. That's not worth living at. That level of urbanization is too much for me. If I could stay in the countryside, I would, but that's not exactly an option for me right now. But yeah, I think it's nice. Also, I am in a relationship with a person who has us eating as organic as possible, so perhaps some thought about moving to the countryside is definitely on our list.
And there's no way that they're not weirded out by the deep sea fish either. Like, they must be looking at some of those guys and being like, they look fucking weird.
But you reckon they're like, it's like they can't bring it up? Kind of offensive, like,
yeah, I like that. Yeah, they're just like, they're little fish kids. They go, no, don't be insensitive. Hey.
It's like when a child sees like a disabled person and starts like pointing at them or whatever, and just like, no, that's just how they are. It's okay.
Exploring Everest, never do that. It's so dumb. The fact that people are literally staying in lines today to be able to climb up there is ridiculous. And what's worse is that they're making use of like Tibetan guides who are helping them to do all that, and they barely get paid. And for the most time, at least from some of the articles that I read on the matter, they always complain, and they litter so much on top of the Everest. It's such a weird endeavor.
Would you ever want to climb a mountain?
I wouldn't climb a mountain. I'd walk up one. I would never do Everest. There's like a pretty high percentage chance you don't get out of that.
I just don't see the appeal. You got to take like 3 weeks off work.
Yeah, there's a good chance you'll just die in one of the worst ways, like either getting crushed or rolling down a hill or falling down a crevasse and breaking your leg and just starving to death. Like there's innumerable ways you could die. I'm sure the view is spectacular.
I don't think it is. I think you can barely see anything.
That's what I'm saying. But even what you do see is like when it's something like this, like the image you have there, it's like, oh, you just see more snowy rocks. It's not like you climb to the top of a nice hill and Yellowstone Valley.
There's no nice restaurant up there.
No, exactly. You're not uncovering like a hidden lagoon or valley or something. And especially like Mount Everest as well. You're doing it with like 600,000 other people. So it's like I've heard during peak time of the year, it's literally like a conga line to the top of the mountain. So it's not even like you're like a bold explorer going where no one's gone before. Didn't someone do it in like shorts? It was one of those.
Yes, and that's true. Bodies are literally left there.
Guys who says they can like control their body temperature. I'm not kidding. I think a guy did do that. Is it? Yeah, it's Wim Hof. I thought it was him. The guy, the Iceman says he's able to like regulate his body temperature and shit.
There must be something to it if he can.
Yeah.
If he didn't die,
you'd be pissed off, wouldn't you? Like you've spent several $1,000s at Kathmandu, kidding yourself out, and you just see some guy.
Yeah, it feels like you're way topping everybody.
It's already impressive to climb to the top, and now he's like doing it even better than you. It's like, come on, man, at least let me have this. Wasn't Dark Souls, you can pick your class and you can be like, is it depraved or something?
Yeah.
You're just in your...
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean.
He's just combat rolling to the top of the top of the mountain.
Bookshops. Okay,
let me tell you what I explored.
Okay.
I explored the bookshop on the weekend.
That's like a mental exploration.
I used to have a lot of books. Like a lot of books.
You seem well read.
I'm not particularly well-bred. Well-bred. But what happened was...
Careful there, historian. Where are you going with that?
I used to buy books for $1.
Sure.
Very quickly, I accumulated a lot of books. And anyway, I moved to one place and then a flood happened. And then I moved to another place. They got kind of left to the elements and so much dust got in there. So I went full 1930s mode and I had a fire in the backyard.
You did a book burning.
I had a book burning of my own stuff. And I thought, I'm just going to start the collection again. And so this weekend, I went to the bookstore and I got some better books. Some books.
$2.
I got some books with pictures.
Oh,
so comics or like children's books.
So they've got a whole aisle now dedicated to manga.
I think it's pronounced mango.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. And so they had these books on like Junji Ito, and I thought,
those are good.
Spooky. I like spooky stories.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yep.
So I got a couple of those. I'm wandering around, and I get to the like mystical aisle.
Netflix made the biggest flex recently, where they made an adaptation of, not that recent actually. They started doing that last year, but adaptation of some of Junji Ito's work. They are spooky.
And I thought, oh, this would be funny. I'll buy her story and like a book on witchcraft. And then when people come around and visit, I'll like leave it on the coffee table and I'll tell people that her historian's really into this stuff now.
Oh, dog-eared with like a bookmark in it. And...
Yeah.
That's a white girl move.
So I'm in that sort of aisle and there's a whole bunch of tarot cards there.
Oh.
Yeah, let's have a look at that.
Yep, that's a white girl move.
So I look at those, I pick it up and the box feels very light. Well, that's weird. And it says on a sticker, please see at the counter. They can't trust tarot cards in the store regular. Interesting. So I went to the front counter And I bought my couple of books, and I said to the lady, "Why are all the tarot cards behind the counter?"
People
and
are
she
stealing
goes,
them.
"There's so much shoplifting of tarot cards. It's like the most stolen thing in the whole store."
It's all of those TikTok witches and those astrology nuts. Yeah, mostly on TikTok, I want to say, who are stealing them. I want to bet that is what is happening. They are vile. There's actually like a TikTok astrology scam epidemic going on. I stumbled on I think there was 2 articles and a video, a short one that I watched on the matter. It's kind of scary. And again, because it's freaking astrology that people are falling for those kind of things.
Oh, wow. I would not have picked that.
No, I wouldn't have either. I thought that was so interesting. And I said, "So what's number 2?" And then she points down at my book. She goes, "We've got a copy of Berserk up the back, and we don't even keep it at the front counter.
Yeah.
We keep it in the storage out the
Okay,
back."
now I get
That does not surprise me,
get
because
that.
I've tried to buy the first edition of Berserk, so I'm like, I want to read this, but it's never anywhere. And I just assumed, it's so popular that it's sold out. But that makes way more sense that people were just shanghaiing it.
Yeah. She also said, well, the reason that the tarot cards are stolen so often is because they're so easy to resell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure. Would stealing them not imbue them with some dark energy, or does that
Bad
activate their
juju.
powers? Now, ironically, if the store actually used the tarot cards, they would know that they're about to get stolen from.
Yeah, it's like how no one steals a Ouija board because you always see it coming.
It's funny how recent Ouija boards are.
Yeah, I've heard it's Parker Brothers thing.
Yeah, it was just some goofy board game from like the 60s.
Got questions? Don't be left in the dark. New glow-in-the-dark Ouija.
I mean, to be fair, you are absolutely right. Those things do go hand in hand.
It'd be like if Mousetrap turned out to be haunted or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I like that. It's like, "Whatever you do, do not go seeking the cheese." I did once, and boy, do I regret it. Do you remember the Mousetrap ad?
It's
That's
a
the
crazy
only thing I-
contraption. Wait,
No, it's the crazy action. Something action. The crazy contraption.
The fun is catching its mousetrap.
Fuck.
What they should have for the tarot cards, they're plated in such a way that you just want to steal them. Even if you have no interest in stealing tarot cards, you're like, oh, I could fully take that so easily.
Yeah.
But you do, and then all of a sudden you start hearing like clinks and dinks of small ball bearings rolling around. A giant plastic cage lands on top of you. I don't know how that works with OSHA, but I reckon we could get it pushed through.
Old video games, especially old online games, are very creepy in a very liminal space kind of way.
That's true.
You know, the graphics are all like very outdated, and you'll be playing games where there'll be the implication of a wider world, but you just know, and the reality is there's nothing there. Like, if I could just jump over this wall, I'm in a void.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Like you're playing Pokemon or something, and you actually manage to move the truck, and there's a door.
And you step into the door.
Yeah, and you go inside, right? And it's like a liminal space, which is very scary.
Yeah.
And it's like a cave. You're expecting to encounter Dugtrio and Zubats, but instead, it's nothing. As I walked through the cave, it got darker and darker, and I started to notice some strange things. There were skeletons. What's the bit? It's called like Pokemon Death Black? Or
No,
like...
it has to be called Pokemon Blood Red or something. Pokemon.
I've never heard of this.
Pokemon Grey, actually, that's kind of cool. That's a liminal color.
Is there like an adjective we can throw on it? Like
no.
What about like morbid grey?
I feel Pokemon Grey. I feel
green.
Like Pokemon Kill Your Parents Orange.
Where does this go?
I got it.
Yeah.
The weird thing was, the man at the EB Games insisted that this was the best version. It's weird though. Never seen that man working there before.
When he spoke backwards and in tongues. But I thought he had just had an aneurysm. I just shrugged. Oh, fuck it out. It's perfect.
I walk up to one of the corpses and push A. expecting a dialogue box to open up, and one did. But it was blank, as though the programmers had forgotten to type anything in. And that was when it happened. The Pokemon battle music started playing.
But backwards.
And all distorted.
Eventually, I came to a crossroads. I could either go left or right. So I turned right, and as I got to the end of that path, there was another intersection. So I turned right. Eventually, I got tired. I went onto the darknet, and I started asking, what's going on? And then someone finally replied, never go left. Luckily, till then, I had only ever gone right, and the username was just
H3LPM3.
Oh, me.
I logged back onto my Game Boy. I turned left. That's when it happened. I blacked out. In the game and in real life. I woke up the next day and I went outside. I was suddenly in the cave.
Oh, shit.
In real life. I yelled out into the cave, hello? Is anybody there?
But all I heard back was echoes. As time went on, though, the echoes started to become more distorted.
It was surreal. It was more than surreal.
Oh, please don't do a jump scare.
My dad's gonna kill me.
That's it. They've always got their priorities wrong, yeah.
I came across several piles of bones.
I bent down over one of the skeletons and I saw in its pocket a journal. I opened the journal and I read the first page. It said, I'm so happy. Today I just bought my copy of Pokemon Gray.
All this is written down in a journal.
I flipped through the pages and then I found it. They said they found the truck too. They went into the cave as well. And now they're saying that they're lost in the cave.
This person's style of writing was familiar.
Oh my
It was
My suspicions were confirmed when I got to the final page. All that it was hundreds and hundreds of scratchings that said, don't go left.
Then I saw it. They signed their name at the bottom of their last journal entry. H3LPM3.
That's when I realized it was saying I walked around in the game a little bit more until I saw the first human figure I'd seen in this cave in the game.
Oh no.
I started to get closer to Ash catching, but he wasn't usual. He was 18 feet tall, and his limbs were all very lanky, not like in
Okay. Slender Ash is nightmare fueled.
the cartoons. Instead of, I want to be the best, he said, I want to kill everybody.
And as his face got closer, it was like my vision was overcome with TV static.
And I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in a strange new place. It was still the cave, but in the distance, I could see lights like those of a hospital room. There was a hospital bed in the cave.
What?
And Ash Ketchum was in the hospital bed. I went over there to see what was going on.
The whole theory of Ash being stuck in a coma. And that's why he never ages.
And as I got up right next to Ash, I realized he's been in a coma the whole time. Wait a minute. I had seen a theory about this.
That's when I looked back again and I realized.
What was it?
Ash had my face. What if his mouth just opened and it played like the garbled, creepy Pokemon cries?
Because we've done that 8 times. That's why we can't do that.
But what if we did it a 9th time?
It can't be more static. He can't open his mouth and more static comes out like pristine garbage.
I blinked and now I was in the bed, looking up. But I was no longer in the cave.
I was in the hospital. I had just woken up and my parents were around me. They said that I fainted.
I was looking around for my Game Boy Color, but I couldn't see it anywhere. I asked my dad, and he said, it's at home, but we haven't even bought you a single game to play in it yet.
You've been playing an empty Game Boy the whole time.
This experience shook me to my core, but my dad and mum both reassured me that everything will be all right. Anyway, this might be my last journal entry for a few weeks. Me and my parents are going to go on holiday tomorrow to visit New York City. Thanks, everyone. Dated September 10th, 2001.
Jesus Christ, that's so...
Wow. All of this to deliver that joke. You gotta show this to Jay Schlatt. He hasn't got enough 9/11 traumas yet.
So stupid. A few weeks later, I was at a cafe out with my girl when all of a sudden I looked across the table and what I saw, it shocked me to my core. The guy from EB Games is just like there, like Michael Caine giving like a knowing nod at the end of Batman.
Yeah. Like a pedestrian walks past and he's gone.
That's it, yeah. Or it's got to be like a suspenseful thing, like, uh-oh, think of what the ramifications for the whole world will be. So, over the years, I've tried to put that all behind me, keep it out of my memory. Maybe it really was all just a dream. Except, one day, I was browsing the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
And someone had uploaded the ROM, Pokemon Void Black. There it was.
I forgot the name.
And it had been downloaded 30 million times.
I clicked on it, and the description was just an assy art picture of Ash Ketchum's face in the bed. Exactly how I remember it.
I ran downstairs. I knew my dad liked to use the Pirate Bay. I went into his study. I burst through the door. Don't play that ROM. But when I opened the door to his office, there was just a chair, an empty pile of clothes, and the ROM was open. He had gone to a liminal space, and I would never see him again.
All I heard was that familiar beat. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep.
Thanks again to NordVPN.
Stupid.
Don't forget to get a huge deal on our 2-year plan.
My fucking god. What the hell? No, you're absolutely right. That's how a lot of these creepypastas are structured. The concepts are kind of fine, but the execution is always kind of derpy. Well, you can link in the chat, or you can just tell me what it is. Yeah. I mean, you definitely need to turn a lot of brain cells off if you want to get along with the creepypastas. No panic button, calm down. Okay. Oh, he does shorts.
John?
Yes, boss.
I have a question about this male chastity cage. Are these measurements in centimeters or inches?
They would be inches?
This can't be right. This can't be right.
Oh, they've had this problem before with custom orders. They sent a pic just in case so that you could clear up any confusion.
Thank you.
Don't let it get you down, boss. We're all a little less than that.
What the fuck?
I must confess, I've never seen such mass and girth on a flaccid peen. He's wrecking JJ and stretching ass every time.
No. No.
Wishing that his meat was mine. John?
Yes?
Imagine that for a moment, like being a smith or a woodworker having to do this kind of custom stuff. Dude, what the hell? That's so messed up. Let's see. Some feminists have problems with therapy. Gonna...
Hey, boss, this came in the mail today with
Oh, an asshole remover? I didn't have one of these on my Amazon wish list.
removal? But...
What, you go Porky Pig on me? Yeah, it's an asshole remover. When you get a deer, you go up the ass with this, turn it around a couple times, and it pulls out the last foot of its intestines.
Yeah, that's not from a fan. That's from a customer. They wanted you to put your kinksmithy twist on it and make it into a toy.
A toy for who? Chucky?
Okay, should I say anything in the return letter?
Yeah, just say that even though I deal in kink, smut, BDSM, I draw the line at snuff. Ugh.
Hey, boss, this came in the mail today with...
Okay. Yeah. No. Oh, hell no. It is a little bit fitting with the animal video that we watched before on Casual Geographic, and yeah, the booty warrior. Jesus. Okay, so I watched a video by Lythero on the Shenanigans recently, and I was actually recommended to check out something from Maximilian Dude, who obviously is more or less of an expert in combat games, but there was this thread that I actually saw last year, but I didn't dive too deep into it because there were so many entries on the most out-of-pocket moment in FGC. And really wanted to watch this, so we are going to do some peak content right now, reactions to, I guess, a reaction. So let's take a look of what this is.
What am I even looking? What's this?
Shulk. Great punish.
What the
It's the kazoo that does it.
So this thread
It's the kazoo.
got linked to me with several other things. that were related, quote tweets and all, of what is the most out-of-pocket fighting game moment? And I got exposed to a couple of them, and I was like, bam, this is sick. I know this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah, gets a happy birthday. Let's see if Havoc can bring this back.
It almost has 5 meters. This is actually terrifying. Oh my god.
Oh, Skullgirls.
Happy birthday.
Wow. Okay, yeah. We all know Marvel vs. Capcom made the term, at least that's where the term Happy Birthday came from, where characters are stuck in a combo like that, at least assist characters. But the fact that the dude literally had the Happy Birthday soundtrack on deck to play this is nice.
That's not gonna kill, but that's... I don't think that would kill.
So, for anybody that doesn't understand how incredible
Okay,
this is,
let the master explain.
Big Band is comboing 2 characters right now, right? Both characters are being comboed at the same time. The glossary fighting game term, which came from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, is multiple party members get stuck in a team game in one combo. It's called a happy birthday.
Yeah.
If it's all 3 of your characters that get stuck in the same combo and
Merry
get killed from it, that's
Christmas.
called a Merry Christmas. The
Yeah.
fact that he literally had practiced and had the song waiting on deck.
It's actually terrifying. Oh my goodness. Happy birthday.
That's wild.
It's incredible. It's easily like, it's up there with like a moment 37 fighting game. I absolutely love it.
And gets to kill at that. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to move my camera a bit.
Yeah, this is normal. This is normal. Don't worry about it. I want that guy banned from this. That's normal. That's normal arcade behavior. Don't even worry about it.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Okay, should I watch this one?
It's Jane Lee,
Is this
of
one
course.
Good? All right, I have never seen this one.
Jane Lee fucks everybody up.
Guess what? You're gonna lose. I should have punished you right. Stop hitting me in my leg, bitch. You better wait till I get up. Damn. Okay. Alright. Shit. I'm sorry, but you didn't kill me. You didn't kill me, bitch. So guess what? I will fuck you up. Bitch, you better know it. Get in the car. You
Wow.
got the car. So guess what? I got more for you. Oh, baby. Jelly. Fuck everybody up.
Oh my god, that one's incredible. Holy shit.
This has got to be the anthem of any Jane Lee fan. Or Jane Lee main, should I rather say. I'm gonna fuck you up. Get in the car. That was so funny. Get in the fucking car. This is what Dead Alive. It's one of the best games ever made. The entire series actually is wonderful. Them and what is it called? Deadly Instinct. Yeah, it's wild.
I've never seen that before. I'm gonna fuck you up. That is amazing.
Get in the car. You're not in the car. So guess what?
Wow, dude. Oh, that one's special. I have never seen that before.
Oh yeah, this one we know.
Exactly what this one is, and I love this.
Bro, you
clip.
gay.
Raiden, show me who did it. She kind of bad though. Is that Frost?
Ass is ass.
Oh, that's still gay. No, you're gay. Raiden.
She kind of bad though.
Ayo, what? Is that Frost? Oh yeah, Justin has one of the best ones.
You just go easy on me.
Welcome to
I'm new to the game.
I remember watching this live.
Welcome to the real world. Welcome to the real world.
Okay, that's a cheat move.
Oh, Jesus
Welcome to the
Christ.
real world. Time to learn. You gonna learn today.
Right there. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a cheat move.
You gonna learn today.
No, you're not. You're using a cheat move. No, you're using a cheat move.
Spammers. We always have them.
You're gonna learn. This is the real world. You learn it early, son.
That's all you ever do in your house? I'm done playing now.
I'm done playing now. That poor kid. That poor kid, 11 years later. It wasn't 11 years later. It was Mortal Kombat X. This was 2015, 11 years later. Somebody's math is off. What the hell? I can't. This makes me, I'm not going to lie. I watched this clip for the first time. I retweeted it. I loved it. I liked it. I loved it again. This clip makes me want to fire up DOA 5. I just want to fire it up.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan. Yeah! I remember his scream.
It's just, imagine like Jackie fucking Bryant knocking this 14-year-old girl into oblivion and just screaming, "Let's fucking go!" Oh my god. Yeah! Yeah, they took all this crazy fantastical stuff out of DOA 5, right? I'm sorry, DOA 6. This was the shit people loved about DOA. Like, it was all...
Like, I'm gonna admit, although I was not a fan of like people who would do moves like that, like spamming all the time, as Justin Wong did, there was just an aspect about it. Like, as you're mentioning there, when they start screaming uncontrollably like that, that was kind of pleasing, especially with kids. I don't know what it was about, but it was just funny.
Always the coolest shit in the world. I'm gonna Izuna
Like teasing them that way.
off a skyscraper, you know? Like, that was always the most fun stuff. Oh, I remember this. Somebody's getting fucked. This one's amazing.
Somebody's getting fucked. Get fucked. Somebody's getting fucked.
Get fucked.
The support. The backup singers. What's going on?
The chorus.
Somebody's getting fucked.
Somebody's getting
The backup singers come in. I wonder what this is.
Oh no. We've all been there. It lasts forever.
Let me
This is why nobody likes King in Tekken. And for the King mains out there, you know yourself, and if you're trying to say anything that this does not corroborate the way that you're playing him, don't lie to me. Anybody who's played Tekken knows that reference. It never ends.
Let me out.
Let me out.
Let me out.
And what's worse, even if you decide to just rely on just kicking somebody, right? Low kicks. It can do that on the ground too. You cannot roll away or anything. You cannot escape him. It fucking sucks.
Scream. Everybody's been there. That's what makes it funny. Everybody's been there. I'm pressing so much shit, dude. Give me a break. Oh, I can't watch too many of these, man. I'm getting messed up. This shit is messing me up. Oh. Okay. Marvel 3 was in fact played for money.
Oh, I see
Yeah, it was.
Haggard and the Sentinel. That's already bad.
You're dead. Very. That's a happy birthday.
Ooh.
They're dead. One incoming mix with Sentinel and Haggard. You're dead.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yep. 7.
8. 7. 8. 8's fucking. Bruh. If something like this happens to me, I am turning off the game, uninstalling it, disconnecting all of my peripheral, and I am going to take a cold shower. I feel secondhand violation here. Bruh.
Second round. Yep. Yep, that's the Marvel 3 I remember, dude. This game was played for money. That's normal. Come on.
Oh, shit.
Sephiroth.
Wait, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? You recovered. Oh, shit. Wait, no, what are you doing?
As a fellow Sephiroth player, cool. What is this Street Fighter V one?
Cody.
What the fuck was that? Did you guys see that? What the fuck was
Wait,
that?
what happened?
Pink Crimson.
Oh, yeah. The jump feint. I know this. It has that as a moveset.
This mix. What the shit? Oh my god. The raw reaction. What the fuck? Excuse me? What if he actually had this move?
He does.
What if he had, you know, zonk into jump feint?
Yeah.
Wow.
What the fuck was that?
What the fuck was that?
I will give you
Oh, like
one more
Pharaoh.
chance, Rom. I will give you one more chance. I fucked up.
We watched this, didn't we?
What the shit? I haven't seen this light arrow.
To Twitter with you.
Twitter with you.
I will give you one more chance. I fucked up.
The way it syncs with his mouth, I fucked up.
I fucked up.
Oh, I saw this. I couldn't believe this. This clip comes across as like characters have their own defined like patterns and attack strings in Dragon Ball that are optimal, right? Where there's like no gaps in their strings where you essentially throw out attacks and force people to block. Because of it, and you get a mirror match, what happens when two people know the exact things you need to press at the right time?
They're gonna be so mad when they watch the replay back. Oh my god.
Not again! Not again! No!
Ain't no way.
It's not over. It's not over.
Bruv.
That
Come
shit's fucking
on.
crazy, dude. That shit's crazy. That wasn't a setup. Here's what's crazier. There might be another clip on here that is even more nuts. Of like, both players are playing like a similar character and they're on the same wavelength in their brain. It's probably in here. We're gonna wait for it because yeah, that shit's amazing. How did you do?
That's like how you know the meta of a game, and everybody's just going on that. But this is still wild.
The exact same shit. What the hell's going on? Green cheese? I used to host this guy when we were playing Street Fighter V.
What are you? Holy shit! Holy shit, motherfuckers! Holy shit! Green cheese! Green cheese!
This guy was great. I don't know if he's still. I don't know if I used to watch this dude when I was like going to bed because he was streaming. He was like the best Akuma for like a long time. Sandbag was one of the best Akumas in the world
Better than
when the game
Tokido.
when he first came out, and he was putting on a show, dude. It was so much fun.
What the fuck?
What? A grenade?
Dakado.
What is happening?
What's he trying to do?
What is even fucking happening?
Masatsu no Hado or...
The slow demon.
What the fuck was that? Sliding in.
The slow off-screen demon. He just, I like this. Casually, that's like the epitome of casually Masatsu a child.
Yo, top notch to the editor for doing this. This is the true out of pocket moment.
What is this one?
Voice DXC glitch, that means you can do a combo into another combo with a super, but that combo is not landing any combo, but when he knocked down, it's still a combo. You understand? Hell no. What the fuck is this?
Hell no. The best shit is the response.
It's still a combo. You understand? Hell no. What the
Hell no. What the fuck are you talking? Hell no. I remember one other stream that I remember watching live, right? What, Jeff? What is
You want to
it?
know what, though?
What?
You want to know what, though? You wouldn't be able to handle it, dog.
I don't know if I want to watch this. I'm scared. It's a
What
Jeff
the
the
hell?
Hero clip from back in the day. Is it
Oh.
okay? Uh-oh.
Okay, Jeff the Hero will say some wild stuff. Okay, let's hear.
Scared. Chat, is this safe? Does anybody know if this KI one is safe? Nope. Nope. This one has expletives. Uh-oh. It's fine.
It's gonna be all mine.
Be able to handle it.
Melts in my mouth, not in your hands, bitch.
You wouldn't be able to handle it, dog.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I'm on probation. Okay, you know what? No, I understand that we're cutting this off. I suppose that the direction that it went was a bit too homoerotic.
We're gonna just move on.
Oh, that's Tokido. Let's go. Gets on stage, flex the back. That's some king shit.
Tokido. I feel like Tokido was already one of the, biggest fighting game players ever, but this was the moment that essentially solidified it, right? It was like everyone knew that he was amazing. He pretty much was like one of the best third strike players, one of the best players in fighting games in general. But it was like as soon as those guys started coming over to the USA more because of Street Fighter 4, and we really got to see like their personalities and shit. Yeah, this was like the moment that Tokido really got put into the worldwide limelight instead of him just being, oh yeah, he's just a really good fighting game player. Like, no, not everybody knows who he is because this was such a cool moment.
And the dead angle doesn't bait it. Gets caught low again. Has
This
to
one's
burst
hard to watch.
immediately.
Full meter, though!
Okay.
Full meter! He's gonna have to do... Oh, he can't! No burst!
So smart!
Oh, my
So
God!
smart!
Genius!
So smart. He
What is
couldn't
he doing?
burst because of the super. But Washiga thinks it's over!
No! No!
Azokawa doesn't care! He took out 65%!
Oh, my God!
Washiga, no!
Washiga, not like this! What are you standing up for?
Standing up for!
Idiot!
Oh my God! Washiga thought it was over and stood up, and Ogawa gave him no remorse.
To be fair, chat, this doesn't happen at home as much, right? With online play. However, if anybody remembers playing in the arcades, if you remember this happened a lot. Because you're so caught up in the match,
Yeah, you
getting
forget the
that
amount of
victory,
rounds you
that
have
it
left.
happened all the time. If you played in the arcade, it happened to you. You did it on accident. Heat of the moment shit. It happened in tournaments constantly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the fact that it took place on like the biggest stage, you like put everything into that round and you feel like that was it. and you just get mixed up in your own head that, oh, it's over, you're good. Yeah, it's not even
That's
that
rough,
weird.
buddy.
People are like, how the hell could you do that? No, this was common shit that happened. It's just that it happened on like the biggest stage it possibly could.
Oh.
Tag 2 is so wild. Fucking VF3. Take a dip, bitch. VF3 is so funny.
Oh, Virtual
hell
Fighter
yes.
2.
Oh my god, greatest.
Jesus.
That
how
shit.
great
Yeah,
this game
This is
looked.
that classic DOA shit. This is what, like DOA 3,
Oh, no,
DOA 4,
Dead or
something like
Alive
that?
2.
That's DOA 2?
Sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. That's
Not
4.
Virtual Fighter.
DOA 2 does not look like that.
Yes,
Really?
it is. Yes, it does.
Is it really DOA 2? Oh, this is a good one.
Here's how we're gonna end this. Here's how we're gonna end this, alright? I am He-Man! And then suddenly...
Wait, dude, what? You had a Mortal Kombat arcade? But it was like tech. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. That's still dope. That's pretty dope.
The pizza, He-Man!
Okay, sorry. Let's go back a bit.
This is a good one.
Here's how we're gonna end this. Here's how we're gonna end this, alright? I am He-Man! And then
I
suddenly...
have the power.
The pizza, He-Man! Eat it! Ah! What? Ah, shit! What the fuck? Here's how we're gonna end this. Here's how we're gonna end this, alright?
Pizza, He-Man!
I am He-Man!
Oh, please, somebody tell me that in Marvel vs. Capcom, the Taskmaster has a Skeletor skin. He has to. That's genuinely great. I would love to see that. With the pizza.
Suddenly... The pizza, He-Man! Eat it! Ah! What? Ah, shit! What the fuck?
What shit? What the fuck? I'm down to watch MVCI stuff.
Oh. What the?
You fucking shitting me? Yo, what?
What just happened?
This shit is crazy. Holy hell. Explain,
Yeah.
Arthur gets a shield block attack in MVCI, right? He's
Yes.
timing it to Strider's orbs. So he's deflecting every single orb because they have a specific timing. They always hover around the same time. Somehow in this crazy scramble, they realize that. That's crazy, dude. Just times it for every single orb as it hits. You don't plan for this kind of stuff. This is what makes MVCI an incredible fucking game. Is that weird, crazy moments happen this. You don't lab it. You do not. You just have an
Yeah.
idea and you try it and it works sometimes.
That's the unfortunate thing about this game. It's generally hated by so many people, and understandably so, but there were aspects about it that were very cool. Like this one.
That's what it honestly is one of the greatest parts of MVCI. It's so much fun. What am I even looking? What's this?
The Shulk punish. That kazoo is wild.
The dumbass, the kazoo, the fucking shit, the kazoo. Oh, damn it, man. Oh, that was funny. That one was good. Remember that thing we were talking about before with the Dragon Ball video of like characters having precise attacks and just patterns that match in games where you can't like really deviate what makes characters super good from one another? People play characters very similar ways, right? So here's another example of that, different from Dragon Ball FighterZ. Here's a Street Fighter V match that is absolutely mind-blowing that the result could even be this way.
背負ってその期待に応えることができるか。まずはこのミラーリング波動拳を打ち消し合って目の前
No shot that this is real.
綺麗に受け止めるシンガン。これが竜の V スキル。そしてさあまずは白いサフがさあコンボでダメージを取っていく竜の代表的な技。そしてこの背負い投げさあスタン攻めは上からいってそこからここで投げを抜けてさあ今度は黒い板山竜の反撃となる
No fucking way.
どんどん体力を奪っていくスタンまで体力ゼロだよほぼさあつけて一気に即答蹴り
How the fuck do you end up doing
さあ
that?
そしてどうなるガードしている本当に演武なのか真空波動拳
Nah.
You would think that that's choreographed. You think, is it no way. No way, dude.
Okay, they faked it.
That's not practiced. I've seen shit happen like this in Third Strike. No shit. Literally, they said so.
Oh.
I'm pissed. I want to
It would have been
believe
beautiful,
Santa
though.
is real. God damn it. Santa is real, and fuck you. I want to believe. God, man, it could have been real. It was real to me. Okay.
Oh yeah! Hey, we're doing a lot. Hey, Trav, you're doing a lot of spinning right now.
Let the man cook.
I'm cooking right now.
Hey, yo! Oh my god! Yo, I thought I was disrespectful. Oh my god! Hit him with the.
That is so casual.
I'm fucking cooking right now. Yeah, there's some very good stuff in this thread, right? I'm sure there's probably even more, and it's equally difficult to find all the amazing stuff. Oh god, Cobra has another one.
The counter, your Oki
Wait, there's an Among Us fighter?
Oh!
No! You did not! You did not just do that! You cannot! Are you kidding me? No!
What the shit is that? Yeah, the Among Us fighting game is shockingly really good. We were talking to the dev when it was first released. It's actually super fun and really good. Well, chat, you gave me some good ones. That thread is just a good time, right? It's just a good time of great stuff, and
I can imagine Lythero and his friends playing that and being like, "Twerk on him, boys!"
equally amazing fighting game moments that just make you proud to be a part of the community in some way. There's some great shit. I don't think that exists for any other video game community. I refuse to believe it. We got the best one in the same way that I refuse to acknowledge that Santa is not real. That shit is the best it gets.
Okay, this was good. Thank you for recommending this to me. There's just some moments that you won't get anywhere else than in fighting games. Like the sheer, not animosity, but like the engagement that people have in those is just so palpable. It's amazing. I love it. That's why I'm so much looking forward to one, the League of Legends fighting games that was renamed from Project L to what was it called again? Let's see, Project L new name. XKO. Like, why? Why did they have to do that? But that and of course Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Looking very much forward to those. Oh, this is vid in the outro. Oh, let me see. Let's go back then.
This happened a lot because you're so caught up in the match getting that victory that it happened all the time. Uh-oh.
No. Not Boston 9000.
Here is my nuts.
Ah!
Crack.
Okay, thank you for pointing it out. I would have missed out on a lot of fun there. Jesus. Perfect placement too. What a strike. Every man in the 1,000 kilometer felt that. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. I think I'm gonna do the last one for tonight. Or today, depending on how you want to look at it. This one is on the beauty of revenge. So, I promised that we were going to be watching something on the Kendrick Lamar beef, right? And I know that it's like a month old, and actually was something that I wanted to talk about, because... Alright, man, have a nice evening. Because, nice. Have a nice morning. That's what I rather should have said. Because of what happened during Juneteenth, as Kendrick decided to launch a wonderful concert or event that was more or less like a get-together for everybody that was from the West Coast. And it wasn't even about Drake. It had literally nothing to do with Drake. But unfortunately, because... or fortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, because Kendrick is more petty than freaking Stink Mina from the Boondocks, who would literally be his spirit animal. Yeah, he ended destroying the man even more and sending him straight to the Shadow Realm. So this is a video from the channel The Generosity on the beauty of revenge. Okay, quickly, just answering the question here. I have to ask what your thoughts are on gym bros eating maybe 2,000 calories and then go to work out. That's weird to me. Mind you, while this is like the consumption of somebody who wants to cut, and eating that much and then go to train is kind of strange. Like, I can barely function. I don't like training on a full stomach. I never do that. Like, the best that I tend to do, like when I wake up, like later after I'm done recording this, I'm going to perhaps have like 2 hours of sleep and then go to the gym on an empty stomach. I'm just used to that. But if I eat too much before going to the gym, I get like nauseous. It feels weird. I obviously understand that one needs energy, but you can do that by eating less. 2,000 calories is insane. Or even 2,000 pounds of calories? What the fuck? How? How do you get that to work? A kilo of food. That's not even that's a ton. Hey, the other one. Thanks. That's a lot of food. I think that you might have some of your ratios a bit wrong there. I literally came off watching a Sonny V2 video on Planet Fitness and now I'm here. Hey, hi there. Yeah, I did watch the one on Planet Fitness by Sonny V2. It's a wild thing. I don't understand why they will serve pizzas to people or fast food at all. It's not motivational. They have this fear of alienating people somehow, which is totally wrong. People who are there, whether they are obese or just wanting to gain some muscle, are there for that very reason. Encouraging bad behavior just because you want to negate, bad emotions in them is not right. So yeah, it's a stupid thing to do. Also, they have that weird alarm of like, as soon as you hear somebody just banging a little bit of the weights, you gotta ring the bell to throw them out of the gym. It's a stupid thing. But back to the main video proper here on the beauty of revenge.
On this day, then King of England, Ethelred, ordered the death of all Danes that lived on English land. It is unknown exactly how many had lost their lives that day, but among the people who had perished was Genhild, the sister of Sweyn Forkbeard. And this dude was not someone to be stepped on. Bro was a Viking warrior. He pressed his dad so bad his dad fled to Germany. And he basically at the time just helped another dude take over Norway. Not the best person to have a bad relationship with. So when he heard his sister got clipped by the king, he did not take it lightly. In retaliation to this, he and his crew went on a pillaging spree, attacking with no mercy, making the locals submit to him, pressing the king more than ever. Eventually he makes it to London, where the king at, and Forkbeard looking for all the smoke. But the king is like, nah, I'm not going out like this, and brings out Thorkel. Yeah, the dude from Vinland Saga. He exists. Him and Thorkel put up a decent fight, but it wasn't good enough. With the willpower of dead sister on his side, Forkbeard's drive towards vengeance was just too strong. The Danes win the battle. Ethelred and his family is exiled, and Forkbeard becomes the new king of England. for about 3 weeks. Then he fell off his horse and died or something. But for those 3 weeks, when he successfully avenged his sister's death, I bet it felt euphoric. In life, we're taught 2 things. Never use the holes you find in bathrooms, and that forgiveness is a major key to finding happiness. I mean, why else is there so many stories with there are no winners in revenge and you will get nothing out of it as their message? Being the bigger person and moving on from whatever or whoever caused your past problems. And that's a very noble thing to do, don't get me wrong. But sometimes it's just not it. Sometimes revenge is the answer. I have to say, there are some cases that require you to throw hands. If somebody spit on you, throw hands. If somebody step on your shoes, throw hands. If somebody shove you and your phone battery falls out in front of all the hoes, air the bitch out. Revenge isn't always a bad thing, but it's not always necessary. I mean, sure, there are those few cases where someone cuts you off at the freeway. Am I really going to get my revenge by cutting them off? Am I that petty? Hell yeah! What you thought this was? I can't be caught looking like a grasshopper in the highway. The hoes are there too. There's also large cases where someone shaboogles your entire family. And clan, everybody dead. You think I would want to resolve it in a one-on-one discussion? No! Absolutely not!
Debate me, bro? Hell no. We're taking this. We're raising the entire village.
Nuts are being kicked. Indian burns will be delivered. That's the way it is. And that's cool. You are simply treating that person the way they treated you. I hate how since we were young, that it had been bad for us to fight back. Like how at school, a dude could take your lunch money, take your phone, take your swag, take your dignity. And the moment you fight back and the teacher catches on, y'all both the bad guys. And y'all both get suspended the same amount of days. And the cherry on top, after it's all said and done, the administrator makes you both, you and Dragon Breath.
That is so dumb. That's what one of the aspects that I absolutely hated about school bullies. See, I was one of the kids that got along with just about anybody. Like, basically a capybara. Like, I could hang out with the nerdy kids, the cool kids, the jocks, everybody. And eventually it got to a point where I somewhat became like especially for my less, let's say, socially ready people or friends, I would help them out because there were bullies who just wanted to prey on the weaker ones. So I will step in. And the issue with that is that when you start doing that, you become associated with violence. And it's like, that's not my nature. I just wanted to help people out. But like, they take you to the principal's office and they start saying shit about you that you never did. I'm like, I literally was standing there trying to defend the guy, and now I'm being associated with the bullies. So that's why you always need to have card in deck, like proof that this and this happened so that you could shut down this kind of conversation. But it kind of sucks because you're a kid, and like, because you always have to believe in authority, people don't trust what you're saying.
Apologize to each other. What do you mean? You did nothing wrong. All you did was retaliate to them being a jerk. Yet the school wants you guys to make up like it's Barney? Nah, between both of y'all, the beef is for life. Even if you see them 20 years from now at a Walmart, it's on site. In fact, what you did was a reasonable response. But fighting bad, so... You ever thought about joining a club? Bitch, is an after-school club gonna give me my lunch money back? No. So the only other sense of satisfaction I can get is by beating their ass.
I missed this movie. It's a nice spoof one.
And people like them need it as a learning lesson, so they don't become those super annoying adults that go up to you while you walking your dog and start petting them like, who are you? And if that's too harsh for you, some people say success is the best revenge. And whoever came up with that was spitting the truth. But only if my op is failing. If they're winning while I'm winning, then I'm not really winning. I'm still losing. For me to feel like I'm winning, my wins gotta be astronomically higher than theirs. Oh, you just got accepted to Harvard? Well, I'm president, and I just signed a bill forcing you to pay 100% income tax every year, and if you don't, it's life in prison. If feels good to win. You see how beneficial revenge can be to the human spirit? It can uplift, it can enlighten, but more importantly, it's fun. And it's equally as fun to spectate. There's nothing more entertaining than people settling their beefs by publicly trying to embarrass each other. That is why rap beef is some of the best stuff that we turned into our amusement, spawning some of the most intense rivalries in history. You thought North and South Korea were on bad terms? You weren't there for Shakespeare versus Marlowe, bro. Cause in hip hop, they don't do no petty shit like threatening nuclear war. They write each other poems. Very mean ones. These are diss tracks, and rappers do it all the time. In fact, musicians in general do this a lot, dissing their opposition or competition in their own songs. And diss tracks could be about anybody. Sometimes it could be about a basketball player you just hate to see play. I get it. Sometimes it could be diss tracks against your own band members, and you guys perform it live without them knowing it's about them. There is no holding back for a diss track, and that's why I love them. There's a sort of competitiveness to it. However, most of the time when it doesn't end with someone getting canceled or dead, most of the time the beefs usually have anticlimactic endings. Like an artist starting a beef by releasing a diss track against someone, and the other person either ignores it or releases something else that is just not even worth the buzz. Example, that Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion beef that lasted like 3 days. Megan dropping his, obliterating Nicki with that Megan's Law line alone. Then Nicki goes on Instagram Live talking nonsense, then releases her diss track against Megan, Bigfoot. And I'm gonna lie, this was pretty good. I love the way the diss track sounds like a first draft. I love how she sounds like she's brainstorming comebacks to say on the track itself. I love how this sounds like a demo. I love how none of the diss lyrics hit. Greatest diss ever, 10 out of 10. Megan didn't even have to drop a track in the response, cause why would you even need to respond to this, bro? In my opinion, Nicki already lost when she married this dude. And public interest for the beef just ended like that. Not too climactic of an ending. But wait. In interviews about her own diss track, Megan says this.
Now, I haven't heard the record yet. Are you saying names?
I'm saying a hit dog gon' holler, that's it.
God damn, so it's multiple people.
Yeah, whoever feel it.
So she's dissing someone else too. And when looking into the lyrics, she's dissing another man a lot. And the man I believe she's dissing is known for getting BBLs.
BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy.
You see, I've been hating on Drake a lot in the past, but I feel like most of it was unwarranted. Like my Certified Boy Lover vid, I listened to like 4 or 5 songs on that album and I was like, that's it. Lesbian?
If you go back now and listen to some of Drake's tracks, they are extremely saucy. Like, to a degree that is straight up unacceptable. So, yeah, I understand why people clung to the rumors, whether they were justified or not.
Alright. And then I just made the vid. I just wanted to hate. Do I regret my actions? No, but the opinions of that video came from an unreliable source, being me. And I've learned from that. Now for this video, I did my extensive research, so I can hate more accurately. If you've been anywhere on the internet within the past week, you might have seen people discussing the feud between one of the greatest rappers, lyricists, poets, scientists, Kendrick Lamar, and a Canadian. Nah, but for real, these two are the biggest rappers in the world right now. Well, outside of Miles, of course. You also might have heard that they aren't the best of friends with each other, and that's what I'm here for today. I know, everyone has probably already heard every opinion that someone could have on this topic, because literally this has been the only thing that's been on my FYP for the past like 2 weeks. I'm pretty late to the party. My bad. My ass thought another diss track was gonna come, but at this point, it's over. I've been waiting for this day, but I gotta hold it in. I'll wait till the end. Cause I wanted to go through the entire timeline of these two dudes' relationship, sneak disses, and their beef throughout the years. And the timeline starts at 2011 when Take Care was released. 13 years. 13 years this timeline goes back to. From 2011 all the way to right now. The first time the two collabed together was for Drake's song Buried Alive interlude. The year after, Lamar was an opening act during Drake's and A$AP Rocky's Club Paradise tour. That same year, they had 2 more songs together, A$AP Rocky's Problems and Kendrick's Poetic Justice. From an outside perspective, based on the amount of collabs these two were doing, these guys seem like the goodest of buddies.
Yeah, and Kendrick literally called him a real one because that was a thing that Drake wanted to do to showcase talent. He constantly was displaying himself as one of the people who wasn't fake in an industry where often people will just showcase you just as a showpiece, you know? And then later on, the whole thing with him using ghostwriters came forth, and everything started going downhill from there.
Ill they weren't. Kendrick dropped his verse on Big Sean's Control, basically saying, I want to murder all of
everybody.
Love you though. Drake took this the wrong way and thought it was a genuine attack. Then he seemingly sneak disses Kendrick on the track The Language from Nothing Was the Same. Although
okay, let's clarify this because it's going a little bit too fast. In the Control track, basically, Kendrick Lamar was like, we need to remind people what rap truly is about. It's not just a body thing that we do here. We are supposed to strive to be the best. So he wanted more or less like to prompt people or rappers to bring their A game, to work on the lyric and to perform better. And that's admirable. That's a nice thing. But of course, the way that he formulated it sounded as if he was willing to beef. But everybody in the rap community took it as, well, a challenge. Except for Drake, of course. Drake was like, these are offensive words. To which I'm like, what music genre are you dealing with here, Drake?
Birdman, Drake's dad at the time, said the diss wasn't towards Lamar, Kendrick knew what was up. He then proceeded to diss Drake for real in his iconic Bet 2013 Cypher, which dropped the next month. There were a few other suspected sneak disses here and there, but in November of 2014, during a Days Digital interview, Kendrick was finally asked about the beef between him and Drake, and Kendrick's like, oh nah, we cool. Well, alright, I guess if Kendrick says they're good, then they must be good. The beef is over. Way to go, guys. I guess love conquers all after all.
Oh, hell
no. C-tier rapper Meek Mill claims that Drake got ghostwriters, and he don't write his own stuff, calling him out for being a phony. By the way, the ghostwriter in question was Quentin Miller, and his side of the story makes me sad a little bit, but it's too off track. Now, how does this correlate to Kendrick and them's beef? Well, because a few months earlier, Kendrick dropped To Pimp a Butterfly, and on the track King Kunta, Kendrick disses rappers that use ghostwriters. Now, some might say this may be a coincidence. Except it ain't, because Drake dropped his best project. If you're reading this, it's too late a month before. Sneak dissing on.
Yes, because Kendrick always has inside man who trusts him more than they do Drake.
A whole bunch of people, including Mia Khalifa, not even lying. And out of those people, of course, K-Dot was one of them. Probably, maybe. It's speculation. Sneak dissing is not concrete evidence, man. But I guess Kendrick took it personally, because he proceeds to sneak diss Drake for the next 8 years? Dang, Kendrick must be overly dedicated.
Wow.
Fuck y'all too, lame ass nigga. Okay, I know I haven't made it to the modern day yet, but if you listen back to what he's released during this time, a lot of song lyrics can be interpreted as him dissing Drake. And yeah, some might think, bro, not everything a Drake diss. He most likely don't like a few other rappers in the industry neither. And that would be true if it was, but it ain't. The Heart Part 4 is definitely about Drake. I remember people back then were saying, oh, it's about Big Sean. Remember Control? He's dissing Big Sean. Really? Really? Look at these lyrics, bro. Look. Bro has a vendetta against Drake, and he wasn't afraid of him to know it. Drake also, during this period of time, has a few speculated sneak disses, but Drake was mostly busy with someone else during this time. He had other problems to deal with. Drake, For All the Dogs, First Person Shooter, J. Cole. He casually drops a verse about the big three, saying him, Drake, and Kendrick were it. I don't know where Naruto fits in this, but one of y'all gotta bounce. This line, that wasn't even a diss, it's more of an appreciation than anything to Kendrick. But this verse, at the time, was unknowingly the start of the calm before the earthquakes.
Then
because
came
Kendrick
like that.
responded to it, and he did not agree. Future and Metro Boomin dropped their album We Don't Trust You, which was basically a diss album towards Drake. No filter, no sneak dissing. They made it well aware that is about him. They even had some big names on there like Travis, Cardi, The Weeknd, and Rick Ross, I guess. But the one who stole the show is easy. Kendrick.
What up, Reddit?
He did not pull his punches. Bro was dissing circles around both Drake and Cole. His wordplay was crazy. Say it's a lot of goofies with a check, I mean, Did not help Cole or Drake in the slightest that this song got mad popular on TikTok, getting it to #1 on the Billboard. Drake was getting pressed.
F the big tree. It's just big me.
But before he could retaliate, J. Cole came to his rescue. Damn, his diss sucked. Bro was talking some nonsense that I don't even think he believed himself. Saying Kendrick fell off and said To Pimp a Butterfly was boring? This guy criticizing niggas for being boring? He averaging one hard verse every 30 months or something. Nigga, you too. Like, come on. All right, I don't want to trash on him no more like that. Because 2 days later, after releasing his diss track, bro apologized for it.
How many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a microphone?
People clowned on him for doing this, but that was literally There came the morning train. People clowned on him extremely for doing that, but that was literally the best decision that he could have ever made.
Clown on him for this, and it do look bad for him or anybody to diss someone just to backtrack immediately. But I think it's a sign of maturity. Cole didn't want to make the diss in the first place, but with this pressure from fans and media, he probably felt like he had to. J. Cole seems like the guy who don't want beef with no one. He a neutral soul. He's the Sweden of rap, and I honestly have nothing but respect for him for that. Remember when I said Cole backtracking showed his maturity? Yeah, Drake don't really know what that word means. Cause on April 19th, 2 weeks later, Drake responds back
the double entendre with maturity. Oh boy.
With push-ups. Drake's comeback to Like That. The cover making fun of Kendrick's shoe size. The title making fun of this video of Kendrick, I think. Okay. And honestly, on release, I didn't think it was that bad. You bite your tongue. Nah, let me specify. Only on release. I know, me defending a Drake diss track against my GOAT Kendrick that I accidentally fall on my head? Well, not recently, but let me speak. There are some lines in the track that made me think, okay, he low-key slid on that. Combined with his flow sounding strong and kind of hard, with an infectious beat, with some decent one-liners, like, bro, I won't lie. This was kind of a catchy track. Do I think it's better than Like That? Hell no! Like That is a great song. But if there were no other diss tracks released from either side after Push-Ups, I honestly think Drake wouldn't get that much dirt thrown at him. Like That is the better and more popular song. But let's be honest, it's not like Kendrick said anything too crazy towards Drake, other than an extravagant way of saying F you. This diss track alone wouldn't hurt Drake's career. That's the job for the ones after. But yeah, Drake could have easily came back from this if he
had
dropped
stopped
another diss track.
A 2-pack of ass.
Yeah. The AI one. Tailor-made freestyle. The second diss track Drake released on the same day. Well, it was leaked first, but most likely on purpose, just so Drake could see the opinions of his fans, thinking, do they like this? And when he saw a majority of his fans liked it, he drops the tape on the same day. But that's just my theory. I low-key don't even want to break this track down. It's just dumb. Like, people low-key think that Drake was playing a mind game with this AI diss track. Like, oh, Kendrick is hearing his...
Had AI of Tupac, Snoop, and who else? Was that Biggie too? But yeah, you don't do that. And that's why the whole thing about disrespecting the West Coast was a big thing with the concert that Kendrick had on Juneteenth.
Idols talking about him, criticizing him. Bro, you're typing words on a computer. How is this like psychologically threatening to Kendrick at all? There's also Snoop Dogg's AI voice in the diss track. Fuck! Now, I don't know how to feel about Snoop Dogg letting this happen. Maybe he's smart. Maybe he heard Drake's idea. He's like, dang, that sound ass. Go for it. Drake shot himself in the foot with this track. And he has the nerve to try to press Kendrick, like saying, oh, you ain't gonna drop nothing. You don't want to take the spotlight from Mommy Taylor, do you? So you're not gonna do anything. So go ahead. I know you won't say something. Go ahead. Say something.
Well,
days passed by.
He had many bullets in the chamber.
Till the very last day of the month. On a Tuesday morning, I open up IG, I see a post, and I get morning wood instantly. It's happening. Kendrick responded with his track, Euphoria. When I heard the opening to this track, I thought this dude was gonna diss Drake in a calmly whispering manner to death. And I was all here for it. And then the beat switched. And I was like, wait. Bro, this song and diss track is amazing. It's better than any diss track that Drake has ever released. One thing that I love about Kendrick, he's the real deal lyrical spiritual miracle master. Dude is destroying Drake on this hard beat, saying disses that even Gumball himself couldn't think of. Like, some of these lyrics be crazy. He exposing Drake send a cease and desist over the song Like That, and that he's Canadian. This guy is exposing Drake for everything. And when he's not exposing him, he's making fun of him. He dissing the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he says the N-word. Yeah, Drake fans still trying to hate like, well, like, shut your bitch ass. And in the record, Kendrick also says, you don't want to respond back, bro. You don't want this smoke. Implying that he got more things to expose him for. And we do see that later. And everyone loved it. We were like, dang, Kendrick really did his thing. He don't even got to do nothing else.
Damn, get off that nigga dick.
And then he drops another one. May 3rd.
This man got the entire world united to hate on one dude.
9 a.m. 6:16 in LA drops. There's so many hidden meanings to the title and cover of this track, but those are not too important. Well, the cover is, but I'll get to that later. The important stuff are the lyrics. Short answer, Kendrick is basically saying, yo, your friends? They ain't your friends. In fact, they working for me. Huh? He also mentions hiding behind Twitter bots, which is actually true. On some Twitter polls, Drake would get an overwhelming amount of votes and weird quote tweets defending him. It's obviously bots though. Like, look at this poll. However, at the same time, Drake might not even be behind this. It could just be a crazed fan making a bunch of bots try to defend their king. But overall, this track was a continuation of Euphoria, saying he got ears on the street and Drake should be worried. The cover alone was a warning, but we all know Drake. He always tries to have the last laugh. Drake drops Family Matters the same night as 6:16, and it was basically a diss towards everybody that took shots at him. He took shots at A$AP Rocky, who dissed him in Show of Hands on We Don't Trust You Too, which that album wasn't as hard, but A$AP's song was a highlight. This is The Weeknd too, cause he's still butthurt he didn't sign to his OVHO label. That doesn't give any of their artists any long-term success or promotion, cause Drake signs these people not to help their career, but to use them for his own music. But that's just a theory. Dissed his own crew, cause apparently he didn't trust them neither. Even J. Cole caught a stray. Like, I thought this dude left a beat. Damn, neither of them like you. And of course, throwing shots at Kendrick. Now, there are a few claims on here that stand out. Saying that Kendrick was responsible for Tupac's family's estate taking down the AI diss track, which, thank God. Also claiming he was a wife beater? Now this was news to me. So on May 3rd, 2014, Kendrick performed at the Hard Rock Hotel in Vegas for a rehab event. There's like no articles from that time talking about this incident, but I think a security guard accused Kendrick of beating up a woman during an after party. Bro, I could barely find any evidence of this concert even happening, let alone any evidence of accusations from any supposed victim. This just seemed like a story I'd see on Media Takeout. There's nothing supporting this. Then he lies again with a claim that Dave Free, former Top Dog Entertainment president and Kendrick's childhood friend, was the father of Kendrick's kid because he left a heart under a pic of Kendrick's wife and kid's post, and also she don't follow Kendrick on Insta. Bro is reaching for the stars for this. How does one come to this conclusion? He also says that Kendrick hasn't gotten married yet because he knows what type of woman he likes, implying he's a if it ain't snowing, I ain't going kind of guy, which I guess would make sense for Kendrick's character, but nah, for real, it's just dumb. Drake comes again with another doodle pile of a track. And the thing is, the track sounds hard. The beat and flow are cool.
Sucks.
But if you actually listen to what he's saying about Kendrick, he's speaking nonsense. There's like no actual substance to the lyrics. The only line that I think is kind of good is, you write about F the big three, it's only Big D. And it's video proof. But yeah, this track is worse than Push-Ups, but better than the AI diss track, I would say. Drake fans went crazy over this. They're like, oh my God, this is so good.
No, Drake fans are delusional. Forget about it. He's not a rapper. One, he barely writes his own lyrics. Two, let him stick to R&B. That was the thing that he should have stuck with. Then he could have had beef with Chris Brown, and Chris Brown too has tracks that are insane. Dude had a beef with Offset, and yeah, that was monstrous.
hits woman and Mother's Day is around the corner. What a revelation. They felt like they succeeded. They won the beef. They felt pure joy. For about 10 seconds. Because 45 minutes later, Drake's murder is made public. Kendrick drops Meet the Grams minutes after Family Matters. And on this track, Kendrick bodies Drake in supervillain levels of ways. First of all, the beat of this track even sounds like a supervillain's theme music. And this eerie piano loop is playing while Kendrick is calmly rapping over and lyrically dissecting and breaking down this man's horrible alleged things he's done. Starting the track with a letter to Adonis, his son, telling his own son that he's a horrible father. He let T.I.'s homie piss on his leg in 2010, and that he could be his new mentor since his own dad ain't teaching him squat. Oh my God. Imagine someone telling this to your son in a song. Even if I was a deadbeat dad, I wouldn't let anyone else know. That's crazy. Also saying don't pay to play with them Brazilians, get a gym membership, which references
BBL.
Drake's supposed BBL. Most people don't know where Drake's BBL accusation comes from. Let me explain. Back in 2016, when Joe Budden and Drake were beefing, Joe Budden accused Drake of removing fat from his stomach to get abs. This type of surgery is called abdominal etching, which is fake abs. And there were some photos from back then that people found sus. The BBL part of it is just a funny joke, because usually when you get a BBL, the doctors usually remove the fat from the stomach to put it in the butt. But they're really accusing him for having fake abs. In the second verse, he starts writing a letter to his mom and pops. This dude getting personal, telling them he's a sick man with sick thoughts and he should be in a cell with Harvey Weinstein, which no one would want to be in. The biggest accusation of all being he and his crew are predators. This is what got people talking the most. And he's been accused of this many times in the past, and some of his homies too. This was all public.
That video right there. Drake has a 17-year-old on stage, which he allegedly did not know. But what he does afterwards is messed up. She tells him, he finds out her age, and dude goes like, I don't know if I should, I didn't know and stuff. And then he goes like, that felt great. Like, he starts complimenting her. And I'm like, bruv, have you literally no sense of self-respect? You nasty freak. Yeah, this is why people don't respect Drake.
Many times in the past, and some of his homies too. This was all public information. Alleged public information. I ain't trying to get sued. Further digging on this accusation, saying, I've been in this industry 12 years. I'ma tell y'all one secret. It's some weird going on, and some of these artists be here to police it. They be streamlining victims all inside of their home and calling them tender, then leak videos of themselves to further push their agendas. I've seen a lot of celebrity and political news throughout the years. If this info is true, I'm sadly wouldn't be surprised by it. These are like already crazy accusations. And remember, Kendrick is telling all this to his mom. Then the very next verse, he dedicates it to Drake's daughter? What? All right, when I heard this, I went to researching, analyzing this verse immediately. Hours upon hours of searching, trying to find out what this verse really meant. And for like 3 hours of this research, I was convinced Drake had not a daughter, but a son. Another one! I was geeking when I found this info. I thought I had Pusha T this level of evidence. But I'ma save you the internet detective journey and say everything I found was most likely lies. All those hours digging down the toilet. I've even seen some popular TikToks talking about it. I'm not gonna go in depth with what I found. All I'm gonna say is Papi Chulo. I do think the verse implies he has more illegitimate children though. I mean, we do know he be messing around a lot, so it wouldn't be too out there. And the final verse being the nail in the coffin, Kendrick basically saying, you did this to yourself. You called out my fam, so I had to stoop even lower. From the start, he been telling him, don't tell no lie on me, and I won't tell truths about you. Ending the track with F a rap battle, this a life battle with yourself. Wow,
Ooh.
this is the type of diss track
Ooh.
you can't come back from. You would just have to lay down and reflect on your life's actions. Every line in this track is just aimed directly at Drake's soul, each shot as destroying as the next, making me think this is one of the best diss tracks of all time. Hell, it's even on par with Fleetwood Mac's. Everybody was going crazy over this, saying it's over for Drake. Bro finna disappear and start a new life at the Turks. But before that, little did we know, Kendrick was not done playing with his carcass just yet. Cause the very next day, he drops another one.
I want to tell you my secret now.
I see dead people.
I see dead people.
Not like us, Kendrick's fourth diss track drops the next day out of nowhere. People already thought he won with Meet the Grams.
This one was wild.
But dropping this was like Kendrick showing up at Drake's funeral and blowing up the casket just to make sure he dead. Cause this track is a bop. He don't even expose nothing crazy on this track that he hasn't already said before. Bro just clowning him in the catchiest way possible. Got everyone in the world yelling, OV ho! Catchy hook, catchy one-liners, and say
Fat Drake. But that's the thing, the beat is hard. The beat is so good. And beside that, of course, the lyric, dude. Just pay attention to just the first couple of verses. He slayed him. If the Doomslayer could manifest in words, it would be Kendrick's lyrics.
saying Drake a weirdo, this might be the greatest song of all time. And one of the smartest choices Kendrick did for this during this entire beat was making both this song and Meet the Grams copyright free. So the popularity of this track was inevitable. A mainstream sounding Kendrick song that is free to use in any aspect? You know everyone gonna take advantage of that. You hear it on YouTube, at clubs, you hear it watching the NBA, you hear and see LeBron partying to this song. That's how you know it's fire. It was over. Even if the accusations of Drake aren't true, having a song hit #1 in the world that is an anthem about you being a predator will forever leave a stain on your legacy, no matter who you are. Drake never gonna escape this, no matter how hard he tries. But even after all this, Drake does try to. And his response to these tracks are just tragic.
We gotta definitely write a song about how we do not diddle kids. Do not diddle kids, it's no good diddling kids.
Drake drops.
It's like not even denying the accusation. It was just like, no. Drake, you nuts.
His response to Heart Part 6, and dude was playing defense the whole track, basically saying, if I did it, where the evidence? That don't count. Even bringing up Millie Bobby Brown, which I'm still shocked he even brought her up. Like, why? Nobody said her name, bro. You bringing her up makes you look more suspicious. He also accuses Kendrick of being molested when he was young because of his track Mother I Sober. And on the track, Kendrick talks about the traumas it could have on someone. Not only is dumb and
like, imagine that. Oh, you have accusation about being a predator. Now let me talk about the person who might allegedly have been affected by a predator. Like, doesn't he understand how none of that is supposed to go together? It's literally the antithesis of what you're supposed to say.
horrible, because the track Drake is referring to is not about Kendrick, but Kendrick's mother, who had suffered from Kendrick's own cousin when she was younger, which I guess flew over Drake's head. Plus, even if it was true, which it's not, what kind of diss is that? You were molested! Like, what? That's horrible. And the final thing that really fumbled Drake was when he was like, bro, I got no daughter. Your moles all work for me. And they gave you that info to make you look dumb. You hired his mole just to tell him that? What a waste. That's not the gotcha you thought it was, bro. The line aged even worse with time, because a few days later, the Riddler drops an expose of all the items shown on the cover of Meet the Grams, blatantly exposing that what Drake said was a lie. And let me explain this vid real quick because I feel like most people don't even understand what they're looking at. So let me explain real quick. Most of the items are what I assume are Drake's clothes, jewelry store receipts. I cannot pronounce the word jewelry. But the main thing I noticed was the box of Ozempic prescribed to Drake. Now, what is Ozempic? It's a medicine to treat adults with type 2 diabetes. And when I found this out, I swear to God, my naive ass thought, yo, Drake got diabetes? This the tabloid of the century. Why no one else talking about it? Come to realize people also use it to lose weight, although it's strongly not recommended to. Many people would rather take the risk of getting thyroid cancer to keep the slim, thick build, especially Drake. The Mo also shows prescribed Adderall and Zolpidem, which is a medicine for helping you sleep. It's also sometimes used as a date drug, which I know some people would want me to point out, but I honestly think he's actually using it to fall asleep, not gonna lie. Cause I would lose sleep too if I had an audition like this. Also, the tweet the Mo posted was attached with security cam footage of Drake, his security guard, and that dude from that DJ Khaled meme.
I love that. I appreciate that.
What the hell is he doing here? And the Mo says on the tweet, Drake and academics got until May 13th to drop all claims that Kendrick stole or legal action will come. And as of recording this a day later of the date, the Mo has posted moving footage of the CCTV confirming that they do got actual evidence that can support whatever he was doing this day. Making all of us wonder, what did Drake and Baby Stroller Guy do on this day? And why is it important?
We'll never know.
I've seen many things in my life. I've seen kangaroos versus man, kangaroos versus cars, kangaroos versus kangaroos. I like kangaroos. But out of all the crazy things I've seen, Kendrick and Drake's rap beef is one of the craziest and most entertaining thing I've seen in a long time. Kendrick is just winning at life while Drake is posting these memes on his Instagram story, acting like, oh, I'm gonna press the red button. Bro, it's over.
And it wasn't over until a month after that. Literally on Juneteenth, dude stands in front of Bloods and Crips that he, in unison, made come on stage, perform, set aside their differences, just to finish it by 6 times in a row, making people call him a predator by reciting the A minor line 6 times. He murdered him. Drake is done. Drake is absolutely done. He should just stop and give up.
I love seeing both fan bases participating and trying to take the other one down, especially on Twitter, to the point that people were bringing up old Metro Boomin tweets, making Metro grooming a trend. And some of these tweets are wild, but he was like 16 to 21 when he tweeted these, and I'm not the type to bash someone for old tweets. I've said some bad things and jokes too in my past that sometimes still be haunting me. People try digging for other tweets from anybody who was related to the beef, like Drake and Kendrick, but Drake ain't really have anything, and Kendrick's old tweets were just like, I'm about to go to Best Buy, so Drake fans hit a dead end on that. The only tweets to come out of this beef that stood out to me were the Ruby Rose ones, who's not even a part of this, but some of these old tweets do make some rappers look concerning.
Well, because there are rumors about you and various famous men. Travis Scott.
When I was younger. Oh wait, actually I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this game.
Oh no. Not more of them. Okay. Stop.
You're a victim.
Kendrick Lamar and Drake's beef, I believe, will go down as one of the most iconic things to happen in hip-hop history. The sheer number of diss tracks dropping from both sides, the years of build-up this had, it's like nothing I've seen before in this genre. This is why rap is my favorite genre of music. You can't find this kind of entertainment nowhere else. And it feels even better when the side you've been rooting on from the start wins. I feel like I've talked about everything I was itching to say about this topic. But I have one more thing to mention. If this beef taught me anything, I learned this. No matter what you do, no matter how hard it gets, never stop hating. Never stop hating. Even if it looks like they're winning. Even when you're on the losing end of the stick, that doesn't mean you're incompetent. That just means you're not hating enough. Always hate your ops. Even if they did nothing wrong to you, you hate them for a reason, right? So keep hating. Always be a hater. Because when you eventually get your dub, you will experience what the beauty of revenge truly means. And in conclusion, Kendrick won. You a poopy bitch, you a...
Showing Bully Maguire there at the end is a king move. He is one of the original haters. That's wild. Yeah, Kendrick certified. His certified victory is undisputable. I don't think that we're ever going to see a rap beef like this ever again. But yeah, as we all learned today, keep on hating. But guys, thank you so much for watching the stream here tonight/today. I am going to get some sleep, as you can perhaps see here in the background. The sun is up, so it's nice. I'm about to get some hours of rest. See you guys next time. I try to do a stream tomorrow, perhaps with some gaming, and yeah. Bruh. Stop with the bird. Anyways, guys, have a good one. See you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh yeah, it's 5 AM here now.